Good afternoon, one and all, and welcome to the build-up show, which sees West Ham United take on Aston Villa at the London Stadium, a muted London Stadium, a raucous London Stadium, a jubilant London Stadium, or a miserable one. I don't know, it's hard to tell, isn't it, for this one? Sorry, I just realised my camera's a little bit wonky. Not for the first time, and not as wonky as this show will be. Thank you very much, one and all, for joining me. If you don't know the procedure or the process for this particular type of video in our build-up show, here's what's going to happen. In 3 minutes, 2.5, 3 minutes, the lineups will be announced. I don't know them at all, which is why I'm not reading the live chat at this point, because I know there's a few of you in the live chat who are a bit clued up, haven't you? You've got your secret squirrel sources. So, there are better sources to have on a squirrel than that. But I'm not finding out until I'm going to organically find out and give my reaction when the lineups are revealed. We'll have a little chat, little talk. I'll read some of your comments out. Then what we'll be doing is we will be having a naughty bet. Here's how the bet goes. With some of your help in the live chat, I'll be finding out exactly what you think is going to happen in the game. We'll be looking at probably a totally unrealistic scoreline, and we'll be picking the goal scorers. And if by some chance, by some fluke, that bet were to come in, one of you, maybe two of you in the chat will get a chance to win, because I'll tell you what we call a phrase that pays. I'll give you a phrase which you need to enter. But we'll do the bet together first. We'll work through it all organically. Just me on my own today, I'm afraid, boys and girls. No Gio. Gio's gone to a Miley Cyrus book signing today. He's gone VIP, though, so don't worry about him. He's not going to queue for ages. He goes into the separate queue. He gets like a personalised one, so Miley will write to Gio, and, he gets his... I hope he only puts his hand around her shoulder and gets the full picture and the selfie and all of that stuff. So he'll be I'm sure he'll be back at some point. Very, very, very happy, and be looking forward to maybe watching the game on highlights. Anyway, so without further ado, it's still 12:59 as we're kicking off at 2:00. So are we nervous? Don't tell me, because I'm nervous about the team. Actually, look, the results didn't go for us. Let's be fair, they did not go for us yesterday, did they? I know, some people think, okay, Palace have been dragged down into it. So it's dark now. Look, I'm sitting in the dark. I guess I am sort of sitting in the dark. There you go. That's better. Well, I say it's better. It's probably worse, isn't it? Depending on your perspective. Right, okay. I'm going to have a look at the teams now. Let's have a look. Right, little refresh. Just so as you know, I'm still looking. When you say that, because we're not sponsored by OneFootball anymore, right? I still use the OneFootball app, by the way. It's not what I'm using right now, but I still do use the OneFootball app. Just so as you know, even when we say, even though it is a good app, it really is. Let's have a read of the team. Oh dear. Okay. Oh my goodness. Areola in goal. Kera at right back. Okay. Just having a look. So I'm looking at something else. Gordon Zuma centre back, Emerson left back, Rice, Souček, Paqueta, Bowen, Ings, Benrahma. Oh, I mean, it's just a worry. It's just a worry, isn't it? Isn't it just a worry with Kera at right back? So I'm going to go straight. I normally take a little bit of time to do this. I go to the bench and we'll go back to the first team. We'll read through it again. On the bench is Anang, Johnson. So I guess it was a toss-up between Johnson and Kera. I mean, look, we didn't concede any goals against Larnaca, but I thought Kera was pretty terrible. But he couldn't be more terrible than Johnson was against Brighton. So I guess I understand why Johnson's been dropped, but it's not great, is it? It's not great there. So Johnson, Ogbonna, the bench. So Ogbonna's done so well for us. He's done so well. But it is good to have Zuma back there. Downs, Cornet, that's good. Cresswell, Fornals, Lanzini, and Scamacca. So, just in case you missed it, this is the first team. This is our starting lineup. It is Areola, Kera, Agurd, Zuma, and Emerson. Looks like a back four. Rice, Souček, Paqueta, Bowen, Ings, Benrahma. There you go, boys and girls. There is the team. Okay, interesting one. Let me just move that out of the way. Go back to the chat where all you lovely people are. Let's have a look and see what we're saying. Well, we got must win. Good to see Zuma and Agurd back. I mean, this could be crucial to have those two back. It has to be said, to have those two back at the centre of defence. they're gonna come at us. I don't. It's hard to know actually. We'll get to how you're feeling and are you feeling positive a little bit later on in this video in this build up show. But it's I don't know. It's funny. Oh, sorry. Let's look at the poll. Sorry, Charlie, I didn't see that. The poll. Bring the poll up again, Charlie, please, mate. Because I didn't see it. Can you pop that back up? Poll. How do you feel about the starting 11? How do you feel about the starting 11? We're doing a poll. Loads of people have got interactive and got involved in it. So yeah, just check it out. It's all in the all down below. Not down below there. I'm talking about under the screen on your app, whatever you're watching it on YouTube, on your desktop, or you watch it on your app or whatever. Get involved in that poll. What do you think about the team? Ariola, Keira, Zuma are good. Emerson, Souček, Rice, Paqueta, Benrahma, Bowen, and Ings. The bench, if we could please, Charlie, my friend, just to go through that on the bench is Anang, just the one goalkeeper, Johnson, Ogbonna, Cresswell, Downs, Lanzini, Fornells, Cornet, Skamaka. It's a strong bench. Shall we have a look, if you wouldn't mind, Charlie, at the Aston Villa team, mate? I've not read that out. Okay, Martinez, Cash, Konza, Mings, Moreno, McGinn, Luis, Ramsey, Buendia, Bailey and Watkins. Bailey and Watkins sounds like a soap, doesn't it? Bailey and Watkins. Oh, I like it. Yeah, nice. So once again, Martinez, Cash, Konza, Mings, Alex, Moreno, McGinn, Louise, Ramsey, Buendia, Bailey, Watkins. They got some good players there. I'll tell you what, he frightens the life out of me. Old Bailey, actually. Old Bailey, that's a cult, isn't it? You know, Bailey frightens the life out of me. Full of skill, full of pace. And we know what I think about those two qualities. Can we have Charlie the bench, the Aston Villa bench, please, my friends? Thank you very much. Olsen, Sinisalo, Carlos, Traore, Chambers, Young, Duran, Dina. Luca Dina. How come he don't play? Anyway, I thought he was a good player. Anyway, so Olsen, Sinisalo, I think I've said that right. Carlos, Traore, Chambers. So Gio was wondering if Chambers might play in central midfield. He actually hasn't. Young, Duran Young, who, ironically, Young is quite old now, if you've noticed. There you go. I've just, it suited him, didn't it, when he was younger? Not so much now. The irony of actually probably isn't older than James Milner, but Young may well be the oldest player in the Premier League. So there we go. There's the team. Hold your thoughts. So don't hold your thoughts. Type as much as you want in thing. I'm not going to be jumping to the chat just yet. Actually, I will, because I know Michael's popped up there. I caught out of the corner of my eye. Michael wrote Annie Dings, and as always, says Annie Dings will be lonely today. Do you know what? That's my favourite song. That's my favourite. Annie Dings will be lonely today. It's a great ballad. One for you to sing there, Michael, certainly. Michael Levy Jr., voice of an angel there. Should we, okay, let's do a bet. Now, listen, for the bet, what we got to do, hold on. Hold your horses, talk amongst yourselves, and there's a swig of my tea. It's hard. If Gio wasn't at the Miley Cyrus book signing, whilst he was talking, I would be able to have a swig of my tea. When I'm here on my own, talk, bet, read the team lineup, swig of the tea, back to the chat. It's perilous. It's a rocky road, which is one of my favourite things when I go to the bakery. Anyway, right, here's how the bet's going to go. We're going to bet that West Ham are going to win because I got a smacked bum last time I didn't. So we're going to bet. We mostly do bet that West Ham will win. Probably an unrealistic bet. Not 10-0 because it won't happen. Ideally, I'd like to win someone some money. But if we win someone some money, I don't want someone to win and give them tuppence. I want somebody to win and win a few £100. So, but 1-0's not going to do it. Do you know what I mean? So I was saying it's going to be a 1-1 draw. That's not going to do it. So, we want, I don't know, a scoreline. We want a scoreline like that, for instance. All right. Harry, we could do a Villa win, but the odds aren't there. This is all about, hold on, what's going on here? Yes. Yeah. Yes. Miley Cyrus. You know who Miley Cyrus is? Billy Ray. I think his name was Billy Ray, Achy Breaky Heart. He had a daughter. I think she might have been called Hannah Montana, but it wasn't really her name. She was Miley Cyrus. Anyway, Gio's a big fan. She's up in Whitley Bay at the moment doing a book signing. So Gio's travelled up there. Didn't really fancy the West Ham. A VIP ticket to the Miley Cyrus book signing. So he's been looking forward to this. Been planned for quite some time. She was meant to come and do it during COVID, but it got cancelled. So I think he's been looking forward to this for a good 3 years actually. Was she not called Hannah Montana? Is that not right? Is that not right? Miley Cyrus wasn't Hannah. Is that what it is? Is that not what it is?
We both know she was called Hannah Montana.
Hold on, sorry, hold on, Charlie. I didn't have me.
He can't even hear me. Let's just diss him now when he can't hear. We both know for a fact she was called Hannah Montana. None of this, all this. Oh, I think she was called Hannah Montana in that show. What was that show? We know it. Don't lie. Don't lie to the people.
I'm not lying. It was me that said it, Charlie. It was me that had a voice of an angel there, Charlie. Charlie Walsh, ladies and gentlemen, a top lad. Has done possibly the finest review on Waterloo Road I've ever seen on the internet, on the whole internet. Anyway, I think we're getting sidetracked here. West Ham are playing Aston Villa. Why are we talking about Gio's favourite pop star? I don't understand why we're doing it. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Good luck to him. Hopefully, he comes back for the book, and the world will be a happy place. Maybe. Okay. So let's go. Let's have a bet. I seem to brought pressure on myself there. Look, it's not me. I'm here. I'm the one. I'm here. I'm uncovering West Ham versus Aston Villa. I'm the one reading out the team lineup. Don't ever go at me. I'm not the one getting a Miley Cyrus book signing. It's Areola, Kera, Zuma, Agurd, Emerson, Souček, Rice, Paqueta, Benrahma, Bowen, Ings. Let's be fair. We're all worried about Tilo Kera at right back. We didn't have much choice. Souček's not here. I'm moving, changing the subject is what I'm doing at the moment. Okay, right. I'm going to get the bet. Let's get the bet up and running. And people are saying, let's get on with the bet. So, get on with the bet is what we're going to do. Okay, so first of all, in the bet, I've got to scroll down. So you just have to bear with me here. I'm going to go West Ham, because that was popped up earlier, to win 3-1. Okay, so West Ham to win 3-1. So what we're going to need now, and when you're thinking about the goal scorers, okay, when you're thinking about the goal scorers, think, is Moyes likely to sub them off? All right. So I think if you like that. So I'm waiting. The first one I see, Annie Dings to score. That's the first one I score. Okay, and someone's put McGinn. Okay, I'm going to do Annie Dings and McGinn, and let me see what that actually does. That's not his player to score. Annie Dings. That's not first. Any time. It doesn't raise it by much. It's stingy actually. I've got to say. Show more. Where's McGinn? McGinn. Oh, there he is. John McGinn. Okay, getting a bit better there. Oh, okay, it's going to step up a little bit now. Let's have another West Ham. A good goal. Got it. I see you, Danny Moore. I can't. If I click it up, I'll miss it. Let's do a good to score. A good. Sorry, you'll have to excuse me. I can't find him. Oh no, there he is. Knife Agurd. This is the bit here because I have to look behind the camera when I do it. Okay, that's getting a bit. Oh right, okay. Do you know what? Let's have also, please, whilst you're all here, you lovely people. What about a card? I'm just going to pull up the screen to put the card on there now. So a card. Ideally, someone that's on the pitch now, please. State the obvious. Kera to be booked. Okay, that's a good one. Okay. Oh, Paqueta. Oh, Kera. There's too many of you saying Kera. I've got to do Kera, haven't I, really? Player card. It's funny, actually, because all the top ones there are Aston Villa. Tilo Kera. Booked. All right, blimey, that is okay. That's good. All right, I'm actually placing the bet. Placing the bet now. The bet's done. The bet is done. The bet is placed, boys and girls. Right. Okay. Let me just check here. So here is the bet. Here's a bet. A bet builder. So the full-time score will be West Ham 3, Aston Villa 1. Danny Ings, Annie Dings to you and me, will score any time in the match. Excuse me, crafty slurp. John McGinn to score any time in the match. Knife Agurd to score any time in the match. And Tilo Kera to be booked. In the event of that happening, two of you in the chat win 500. 500. Sorry, I just laugh at someone. Win 500 quid. All right, two of you win 500 quid. Fair enough, isn't it? Right then. Oh, cool. I haven't done a phrase that pays. Okay, I'm gonna. I can't think of anything. I've got to do it quickly. I'll tell you what we'll do. Here's the phrase that pays. It's gonna be. We'll call it cash out concer. Cash out concer. Well, it's 3 words, not 1 word. So I said 3 words. Cash out concert. Why am I saying cash out concert? Because here's the thing. Just in case you're joining us, why are we talking all this crazy stuff? If you're a regular, you know. Basically, we've just placed a bet. Here's the bet. The bet is that West Ham will win 3-1. Danny Ings scores, McGinn scores, Nigel Gerd scores, Tilo Kehrer gets booked. In the unlikely event of those things happening, 2 people in the chat are going to win £500 each. All you got to do is to be entered into that competition is do what Scott's just done there. Type cash out concert, upper or lowercase, don't care, and you are entered into the competition. There we go. Couldn't be better than that. And one thing I do want to say is, where's it popped up there? Thank you. Thank you so much, Ryan. Very kind. I think he's allowed him. He's saying, I'm tired of supporting West Ham. But hey, Ryan, hopefully the team can perk you up a bit. It's quite funny actually, because I've got my phone here, which remains silent. Okay, my old man, right? This is what I got to deal with. My old man has just messaged me, basically, you know. I'm getting trolled on my phone. McGinn hasn't scored in 40 plus Premier League games. Listen, Gonzo Senior. That is why the odds are good, and that's why today it comes. This is today's the day we get rich. I didn't actually put a bet on yesterday. Didn't come in. I every Premier League match day, you know, like the 3 o'clock kickoffs and that, I try and predict the scoreline, and it's never happened yet. I'm thinking, so I'll put like 50 pence on or something. That's a big bet. Usually about 20 pence to try and predict every score exactly. If it comes in, you win hundreds of thousands of pounds. No, but it hasn't happened yet. Truth is, I'm not very good at betting. There you go. But one day, if it comes in, great. I would like nothing more than to give a few £100 away to you long-suffering West Ham fans. And, you know, bless you for tuning in to Hammer's Chat, which is very, very good of you. Matty, cash in the bank. Thanks, Johnny. Absolutely. Thank you very much, buddy. Very kind of you. Okay, right then. Right, so that's the bet done. Tick. Read out the starting lineups. Tick. We've done all that. We're plain sailing. Had a couple of swigs of the tea. Tick. It's all good. So, if you don't know, I know because often we do this and people ask what the teams are. They're running along the bottom of the screen. There. So there's the teams. If you want to know what they are, let's have. Don't forget to get your cash out concert in there to be entered into the competition. And this is quite right. I love this sentiment. He who dares, Gonzo. He who dares. He who dares wins. Quite right. So okay. So what do we think? What's Harry saying? Gonzo's bet comes in. He's going. Yeah. And listen, I did once put a 20 pence bet on, and it won 120 £20, something like that. I screenshotted it and sent it to Gio. It wasn't a Miley Cyrus gig at the time. I think he was having a football weekend at that point. Anyway, so what are we saying? How are we feeling about? We had a bit of a laugh, take the pressure off, do a little bet. But seriously, that was terrible yesterday. All those results going in. I thought Bournemouth looked good. Right, I thought Bournemouth looked really good. You know what it is about Bournemouth as well? They look like they're enjoying it. They absolutely look like they're enjoying it. I was discussing this we did a breakfast show on our Patreon channel. We did a breakfast show this morning, and I listened to the David Moyes interview, his in-house interview, which he did with whoever is the interviewer on West Ham television or whatever they call the in-house television station. Oh, he was grumpy, he was moody, was not happy at all. It was actually bloody rude. He was really rude to the interview. And I thought, come on, this is a West Ham employee. There's no need for that at all. And I thought about him, and I thought about his grumpy, moody demeanour. And I thought, that's what he's like. Is that what he's like around the place where you go into work there? You'll be treading on eggshells. Just be avoiding the guy, you know. And I looked at Bournemouth. And the comparison to our players like they've got the weight of the world on their shoulders, and Bournemouth seem to be, playing with a freedom and a vibrancy. And I looked at them realistically; they should have got a point against Arsenal. They deserve to beat Liverpool as well. I can't see them being in there. And Leeds getting a point wasn't great, and it wasn't it a sucker blow. It felt crap. It feels crap having to worry about other people's results, but Everton winning and get and ultimately going on to win and get the result. Oh, it's so demoralising, right? Not good at all. Anyway, do you know what? People keep asking me about this. I'll say it now. I don't really know about it. I understand that he made some comments about immigration, as I understand it. And he might have been suspended. You don't even need to explain that. I don't watch the news. I don't get involved in any of this. My life is a lot happier. I don't watch the news and I don't read social media, right? Quite happy to post a picture of me pizza on social media or something like that. But I'm not interested in all that stuff. As I understand it, he's gone a bit political. And I think, you know what? Whatever. I'm not bloody. I don't know why he feels the need. I don't know why anyone feels the need to post their political beliefs all over social media. At the end of the day, you're either going to encounter people that disagree with you or people that agree with you. Do you know what I mean? You're certainly not going to convert anyone that thinks opposite to you. I'm just sick of hearing all of it, to be fair. But at the end of the day, it's his personal account, right? It's his personal account. I'm not sure what he's got to do with Match of the Day. I don't care as long as he presents Match of the Day all right. That doesn't overly bother me. But as I understand it, you can't do that. You've been the BBC. You're meant to not do that sort of stuff. I guess he's in breach of contract. Really, I don't care. I'd lost. I don't watch that much of Match of the Day anyway. I'm not. I understand they were doing a highlights package, but without the chat in between. Well, that would suit me better. I've got to say, I would prefer not to have the chat. I don't mind. I don't overly care. That's the truth. But clearly, it's everybody. It's a bit of an issue. It's a bit of an issue at the moment. But he's been a good host over the years, Lineker, for Match of the Day. But I don't. I don't care. I honestly, I don't care. There you go. Anyway, so yes, that's all right. Thank you. But there you go. You did ask, Harry. Those are honestly my opinions. I'm not particularly bothered about it all. Jay says up the Lineker. What I don't know. By the way, I don't think he should be sacked for it. I don't like seeing anyone sacked for anything. That's a lot of all that these days. I don't want people sacked because they got an opinion or something. But what I should say is I don't want to hear it in my sport. I don't want to tune into sport and hear a load of politics. I don't think he was doing that. I don't want to switch on a film and hear a load of politics. I want to watch the sport, enjoy the sport. Anyway, talking that. I'm talking about it now. I'd much rather be talking about the West Ham game, which is exactly what we're going to do right now. And just someone has summed it up there. I absolutely agree with that. There's enough of that crap, you know what I mean? Well, we hope. I was going to say we hope West Ham's a bit of light relief, but it's not, is it? At the moment, it's heavy going. It's really hard to. As I said to numerous people this week, I'm not allowing West Ham. I'm not allowing West Ham to ruin my weekend. It's not really West Ham, It's. Let's be fair. I think we're really poorly managed at the top at the moment, from the very top, and I think we're really poorly managed in terms of the team as well. So I think today is a must-win. I do. And I don't necessarily mean for David Moyes. I think we would discuss it this morning. I think if he draws, he keeps his job. I think if he wins, certainly he keeps his job. And I do want a win. But I want a win because, 13 games left and we need to win 5? I can't afford to say, I hope we lose, so as David Moyes loses his job. I think any win we get, we got to take, absolutely. But it's hard. It's hard to be motivated. It's hard to watch that team play like we did against Brighton. It's hard to listen to David Moyes in that interview. It's hard to get confident and whatnot. And I hope. Again, I've said this on numerous occasions. You'll have heard me say it before, but I will say it's really important, that stadium. David Moyes said, "I would need the team to get behind the stadium." We need the team to get behind the stadium. We need the fans to get behind the team, and they will. I'm telling you, the machine will start farting out all the bubbles, right? The players will walk onto that ridiculous Premier League tune, and at some point they'll crank up a chorus of "I'm Forever Blowing Bubbles." The crowd will sing it. At the end of singing "I'm Forever Blowing Bubbles," there'll be a chorus of "Come on, you irons." The whole stadium would cheer. At that point, if we've got the kickoff, we need to have an attack. Here's what we do every single bloody time, and I've yet to see it work, right? And this is why David Moyes needs to realise this. The best thing that he could do is for us from the outset to have a shot, right? I don't mind it goes on the bar, whatever, but gives us a corner, something. Because at that point, the crowd then cheer again, right? And there's another chorus of "Come on, you irons." But here's what happens when we get the kickoff. We pass it back. Souček runs up the pitch. The ball will get passed back, probably to a Gerd, whose job it is at the moment, who will launch it long to Souček. The idea is that Souček then heads it on. I guess at the moment, it'll be Souček's got to head it on to Annie Dings, and Annie Dings scores. Forget the players. That's the tactic. That's how we start games. I have never seen it yield a goal yet. And I think some of it might be trying to get territory up the pitch or whatever. But unfortunately, what it does do, it immediately surrenders possession. And then the crowds, it's hard. And I think he just doesn't understand that. Let's get up there. Let's have an attack. Let's have a corner. Oh, yeah, big chorus of "Come on, you irons." The corner gets swung in, whatever. Zuma comes up from the back, heads it. Oh, just over. Oh, another one. "Come on, you irons." We're up for it. It's a bit of give and take between the team and the crowd. And he needs to understand this because there's no what's the word? There's no tolerance anymore. The tolerance has gone because of the way we've played all season, because that horrendous performance against Brighton. And David Moyes, he said in this interview, which the interview was on Twitter. As I saw the interview on Twitter. I think it was on Sean's page on West Ham Football. But it's from the club, and it's a 6-minute interview if you haven't seen it. So in it, the interview, it was terrible. I'll go for it now. If it wasn't match day, I'll do a separate video on it entirely because I thought it was terrible. But what David Moyes said was in it that the interviewer was friendly enough. So the interviewer said, "Oh, if you've got any, how will you be dealing with things different? Will you be doing anything differently? Bearing in mind that we lost." It was our worst result of the season against Brighton. And he turned around and he said, well, actually, we had a really good result just before against Nottingham Forest. So anyway, he sort of blanked him a little bit. And then he asked what I thought was quite a benign and friendly question, the sort of question you'll only get from the in-house interviewer. So he was being really friendly to him. His in-house interviewer said, okay, he said, of course. And he said, Danny Ings facing up against his former club. Do you think Danny will be fired up for this? David Moyes turned around and said, I don't know, you'll have to ask him. I mean, come on, mate. Give him a little bit of something back. But here's the thing. So there's two things that really annoyed me. First one, he said, have you got any special message for the fans following the defeat against Brighton? He said, no, not really. Only what I'd always say to them, which is get behind the team. I just thought, how hard is it for you just to turn around and say, yeah, I have got a message for him. Sorry for how he performed. Sort of got it wrong on the day. I didn't perform well as a manager. Players didn't perform well. We know we let you down. We know it was a cold day down on the South Coast. So, sorry to everyone. We're gonna try and rectify it for you in this next game. How hard is it for him just to say that, to put a message out there? Yet there he was again, feeling inconvenienced. Then the interviewer asked him, what do you think about Aston Villa? How you think about Aston Villa's season and how they turned things around tactically under Unai Emery? Do you know what he said? He turned around, he said, I don't know, I'm not an Aston Villa expert. Oh, God. And he did this, right? So you're the interviewer. I'm David Moyes. The guy's interviewing. He went like this. He said, I don't know, I'm not an Aston Villa expert. Went like that, honestly. And then he said, well, what about Unai Emery? He said, well, I don't know. You'd have to ask Unai Emery. He said these words, I'm not a Unai Emery expert. Oh, mate, you know what I mean? Give it a rest, Anyway, so it was a terrible, terrible interview. He certainly didn't give any indication that things are going to be looking up, or that he's even understood, the mood around the place. So he needs to understand the mood around the place to lift the stadium. And anyway, let's hope this stadium does indeed get a lift. Sorry, a bit of a long rant, that one. Hold on. And the second part of the rant. No, I'm ready. Look, that's what I think about. That's what I think about him. That's what I think about his bloody interview, quite frankly. But this is it, Zach. This is exactly, and you're not the only person to say that. Yes, that's what I thought, and everyone I've seen has sort of the interview when he said, "I'm not an expert on Aston Villa." Well, you bloody should be, mate. They're next up. You should know which combination of fullbacks they're going to play. You should know which one drops into central midfield. You should know which one drops out and helps the back, which one's going to make the break forward, what they're going to do on set plays. This is exactly right, Zach. David Moyes should absolutely know. He should be an expert on Aston Villa. It's absolutely his bloody job. And all right, no, does he? But anyway, it was the whole thing. How's Danny Ings? I don't know. Ask Danny Ings. You just, oh mate, leave it out. You grumpy old what's it? No good at all. Anyway, that's that. You probably think that I don't have confidence for today because of that, and you'd be right. No, it's hard to have confidence, isn't it? But I don't think it's beyond the realms of possibility that we can win. But I don't know how much of that is hope. Obviously, it's just trouble. It's trouble. You're a football fan. And we spoke to Gary Lineker earlier. We're not Gary Lineker, are we? We can't watch it and be impartial. It's hard to. So you've got that bit of you, which I call the West Hamitis, which sort of always, I think it's not just West Hamitis being a football fan, isn't it? You sort of expect the worst to happen. And I certainly, feel that way now. But then you've got the hope of being a football fan because you've enjoyed good times before. You've enjoyed jubilation and winning games, and it feels great, when you score goals. So I think there's that part of me thinking, maybe we can win, and then there's another part of me, we probably won't, and it's tough. Look, the only thing I can really cling to, and it is hard. It is hard. The only thing I can really cling to is I just wonder if Aston Villa, because I think they're on 36 points. Something like that, whatever, 34, but whatever they're on, they're safe. One more win, and they're not mathematically safe, but bear in mind they've got 13 whatever games to go. They're going to get a win and a draw, whatever they probably need to stay up. So they're not going to be as desperate as us, and I hope we are desperate. Actually, I hope we are. So I wonder if that makes us play with more intensity or something like that. But they are all sort of hopes. There's nothing I can point out particularly tactical. Worried the hell out of me. I mean, so almost that same back four that you're going to see now. So Cresswell's not in there, but Emerson is. You've got Kehrer at right back. You've got the two centre halves remain the same. Goalkeeper's the same. That team, that defence conceded 14 corners against Larnaca. 14 corners, and that's what makes me one of the things that makes me nervous about it. You give a Premier League team, don't worry about Aston Villa or anyone else, you give a Premier League team 14 corners, they're scoring a goal. I just thought, how and I'll tell you one of the biggest concerns, and I will say it now, I haven't got a tactical mind like Gio has in that sense, but one thing I did notice was that Kehrer was out of position so many times that the geezer, whatever he was, their left winger, was running in the space that Kehrer had vacated. So, that was such an easy route to go. And as I say, I'm not overly tactical or analytical in these things. I've noticed it. Bloody hell, you'd expect Unai Emery to have noticed it. Hey, I'm no expert on Aston Villa, right? But hold on, I just want to pop this up, and James, I absolutely agree what James is saying there. Absolutely. But I've got a bit of a reputation for talking about pace. Someone said in the comments the other day, I say I can see Gonzo's desperate to talk about pace. He's gonna talk about it because I saw the comment. I deliberately didn't. So there you go. Anyway, I think Mr. Walsh. I don't know if he's ready. Certainly looks to be. You shake your head, nod your head. Don't matter if you're not. It's he's ready. Mr. Walsh is ready. Oh, we've been going a little while now, so we will welcome in Mr. Charlie Walsh, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello. Oh, thank you, everyone. Thank you. Too kind. Yeah.
How are you?
I'm all right. I'm a bit tired. Woke up too early today. I think I went to sleep about 5 something. Woke up about 10:30. So I'm a bit like sluggish.
Not enough, is it? Not enough. What were you watching? What were you doing? What was going on?
Why I was up late?
Yeah.
I was playing Bug Snacks, Gonzo. I was playing Bug Snacks.
I don't know this.
Bug Snacks is a game, and you are a journalist, and you go to an island where there are bugs that are made out of snacks, and you take pictures of them, and you catch them, and then you can feed them to people, and then the people get turned into the snacks.
That sounds shit.
I'll tell you this, it's a banger, but I'm not entirely certain I've sold it properly.
No.
I don't know if there is a way to sell it, but at the same time, it is a banger.
That's what I was thinking.
If anyone in the chat has played Bugstacks, at least tell Gonzo that it does exist.
I believe it exists. I believe it. I don't think you're lying.
There you go, James.
Oh, he's gone. You know what? It a minute ago he did the most sensible post of the day, and now he's he remembers it's old.
No, it's from like 2020. I did a video on it on my channel like in 2020.
Oh, did he?
But I never got around to
Waterloo
finishing
Road.
it.
Okay.
No, that's my magnum opus. I will never better the Waterloo Road.
No, you guys.
Actually,
I'm fine. Do you know? Even though I've watched it twice, it still every so often offers it up as a suggestion on the suggested videos. It's you may want to watch it. I never watched it. I bloody know him. I phoned him up when I talk about Waterloo Road.
Yeah, it could be what my mum said. It does the same thing to her. So yeah, sorry about that. I will say though, Gonzo, I haven't recorded it yet. I'm in pre-production. I've got a banger in the pipeline. I'll tell you that much. I've got an absolute barnstormer. This is all I'll say about it. Bargain hunt. That's all I'll say. But there is an absolute barnstormer in the pipeline.
Have you seen that joke of the guy that it's not, but sent in sent in a picture of his 20 stone wife, and they said no, thank you. We got that. I think you got that slightly. We wanted you to send it in for something called Fact Hunt.
No, I did not see that. No, I did not see that. I did not see that.
Probably a bit much to be fair for 1:30. But I think I said you can't muck that up. You can't say that show incorrectly, can you? Let's be fair.
No, but listen, Bargain Hunt is an incredible show. The other day, me and my girlfriend we went out to see like some of our friends, and when we were on the bus coming back, for some reason we got talking about Bargain Hunt. I honestly don't remember why. We got talking about Bargain Hunt, and we got back. It must have been about 8-9 at night. We ordered takeaway, and we watched like 4 episodes of Bargain Hunt. And I can't lie to you, what a show! What a show! Oh, I love it. I absolutely love it.
I've been before I go. I've been watching some telly.
Oh, go on, lay it on me.
Okay, so Finding Michael.
Okay.
Right? Well, that was good. I gotta say, that was good. Bit emotional, to be perfectly honest with you. And I've been watching The Last of Us. It's called.
Oh,
and it's based on a game. A bit like a bug thing.
Yeah, Bugsnax would be a better show, but fair. Carry on.
Well, okay. Yes, but it's good, right? But I'm aware that people that played the game don't like it because it's not true to the game, apparently. But I sort of get this because when Amazon brought out the Rings of Power,
sure,
that wasn't that was they didn't accurately portray. Well, they changed a load of stuff from Tolkien. So I get that. I understand that if someone's not true to the lore. So yes, apparently it's not. So I think the people that played the game of The Last of Us don't like it.
Out of everyone I know who's played the game, I've heard nothing but glowing things about it being great.
Oh, really?
I don't know what the general consensus online is. I've not been looking, but everyone I know who's played the game and has watched it have said nothing but the highest regards about it. Nothing but the highest regards about it. I do want to watch it at some point. I haven't got around to it yet. That was why I started watching Walking Dead. It was the day after I think Last of Us started, and I was like, oh, I want to watch Last of Us, but then I was going to watch it with my girlfriend. She wasn't ready to watch it, and then for some reason we just saw The Walking Dead and went, yeah, let's start watching that zombie show instead. That's a good idea, isn't it? And then we haven't stopped with that. But I'll get around to it eventually. But I've heard nothing but glowing things.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I thoroughly enjoyed it. So I've got to take this. We haven't got time for this. It's a West Ham game. I've got to go and set up the stuff. I've got to write my stuff out and get me pads sorted out. Terrible. Absolutely. Andor is so much better. That's that. Mandalorian, paint by numbers TV. It's terrible. It's terrible.
I've heard great things about Andor, to be fair.
Andor's different team of writers. It's just been well written. Really, really well written. I guess everyone's liking this Bugsnax thing.
I'm telling you, Bugsnax is a banger, mate. I've sold it horrendously, but again, I don't know how you can sell it well.
Not like that. Not like you did it. Yeah. Anyway, before I
got a
skip
great
that,
theme song, Gonzo. Oh, it's Bug Snacks. Oh, talking about Bug Snacks. It's a great game, man. You just need to get involved. Get involved.
yeah, I've got some washing to do and some stuff, you know. I mean, anyway, before I go, how are you feeling about it all?
Kara at right back's going to go awfully, isn't it?
Yes, it seems that way.
That's my biggest out of everything else. I really like the rest of that team, right? I'm very happy with the rest of it. You know, I don't know what other changes I would idealistically make. Maybe I'd want to see Skamaka in somehow. I don't know. Apart from that, that's probably the team I would pick. Apart from Kara at right back, which is maybe the scariest. He's so bad at it. I don't. God, I don't. You know.
Would you have done? What would you? I mean, I don't understand. It's hard. I give Moyes plenty of stick, but without Soufal, it's a hard decision. Would you have done that, or would you have gone with Johnson?
Oh, Johnson every day.
Yeah,
but the thing is,
you know, and it's difficult. I understand there's going to be a lot of.
I disagree, Price King, but what I would say is this: I've never been a big Johnson guy. I think over the last couple of games before Brighton, he was doing really well, and I was like, oh my god, this is a side to Johnson I haven't really seen. And when you look at the other options, I thought he was better. Kara struggled in Cyprus. No offense. No,
it's great.
None whatsoever. But he struggled in that game. I have never seen Kara play at right back and gone, yeah. He is maybe. I don't say this lightly. I think he might be the worst right back I've ever seen at West Ham. I cannot think of a right back I've seen play for us. Someone who's played actually right back. So you can count other people like James Tompkins who played there if you want, even though he's not right back or whatever. I've never seen someone so inept at it. I am terrified every time. It's horrendous. I can't think of one. I actually genuinely can't. Now, obviously, I've got a lot smaller time span than others to pick from, you know. But
well, I'll tell you what you do have, Charlie, and that is a whole watch along for people to write in their comments who has been a worse right back than Tilo Kehrer. And then you've got the whole rest of it. If Tilo Kehrer scores, a whole rest of it for everybody to delete their comments that they made about Tilo Kehrer. Not I disagree. As I say, I thought he was pretty much solely responsible for Larnaca. Sorry, Arnica's like anyway, whatever. It's something. It's a herb or something. I don't know what it is. It's something else. Something mystical. Something, you know.
I don't know. I just know it as a team that we faced in Europe.
Yes, that's Larnaca. It's separate from Arnica.
I don't know.
And anyway, whatever.
Arnica sounds like a convention that would happen about Arnie. Do you know what I mean? That's all I've got with that one.
Yeah. Someone's going to tell us in a minute. I'm sort of waiting around for that. But my point is, I hold him almost primarily responsible for Larnaca getting all of those corners, basically. So there you go. No, nobody knows. It must just been me. Oh, Arnica, there you go. This is what I'm talking about. Yes. Yeah. That's it. That's it. Yeah, absolutely. How
many games did he actually play for us?
I don't know.
Raz Van Rat.
Does it mean the player or the ointment?
First of all, Raz Van Rat was a left back, right?
He was.
Second of all, Raz Van Rat had an amazing picture in a onesie in the West Ham Christmas catalogue that year. Therefore, he is exempt from this conversation because that picture was beautiful and I refuse to accept otherwise.
Yeah. I don't know why my mind wandered. I actually wondered. I thought, I hope West Ham don't bring out a Mankini range. No one needs to see that.
Who do you get to model it? Is the big
I don't even want to think. I don't want to watch. I don't want to, Anyway. Joey O'Brien did all right. He had some times. Listen, he wasn't the best in the world. I'm not sure he was even originally bought as a right back. But no, I mean, this is a different. I don't think Kehrer has had one decent game. I think at right back. I don't think you could say that. But anyway, right, listen, I've got to go. I've got to set up my TV, set up my pad to take me notes and all the rest of it. Charlie, you're taking everybody through until the final whistle, my friend, and then I will be back with the review straight away afterwards. We don't know what are we going to be like. It's like a lottery, isn't it? You know, I'm a happy or sad review, or just sort of, straight down the middle with a draw. Be interesting.
They'll have to tune in to find out.
Let's tune in to find out. Anyway, I'll see you later, Charlie. Thanks, buddy.
See you later.
See you, mate.
Enjoy the game. Bye. That's Gonzo, ladies and gentlemen. And thank you all for joining. I have seen a couple of people back in the Bug Snacks, and I respect it immensely. I've also seen a couple of people taking shots at Guy Demel. Also not acceptable. It's Guy Demel. Okay? Let's get that. Let's get that straight. But I did see a bunga, which I appreciate. Let's get straight into it, ladies and gentlemen. 1 being the least confident possible, 10 being the most confident possible. How confident are you of a West Ham result today? I hope you're well. I hope you're good. We, of course, have the rest of the game to talk about all such manners of things. We have about 18 minutes-ish, 17 minutes-ish until kickoff, and then I'll be live throughout the entire game. And then, as Gonzo said, he'll be back at full time for the match review. So if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any future videos, because I'll tell you what, there are plenty of stuff going up. We had some double upload days this week. I think we put more videos out than there were days this week, I believe. Not entirely certain that's true, but I think it is. So what I would say is get involved if you haven't already, and like the video, because it helps us massively. It pushes us up. It pushes us up in those rankings. You know, those rankings. You know, people, when they type it in West Ham, Aston Villa, we'd be up high. Type in Bug Snacks, we'd be higher up the rankings that way. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? However, let's have a look at while you're doing that, how you felt about the starting 11. In fact, no. Do you know what? It's so far ahead that I can end it now. It's not going to change. Out of the 920 people who voted, thank you very much if you voted in the poll. 4% of you were fuming about the starting 11. 14% of you thought that it was poor. 17% were very happy. And 65% said, yeah, it's all right. Yeah, it's all right. Which, to be fair, I think if it weren't for Kara, I would probably be happy with that in context of what's actually available. But the Carol probably puts it down to, yeah, it's all right. Yeah, all right. See, here's the thing, Harry. Just to draw the curtains back a little bit, have a little peek inside. When they do the review, I go off and do like tags and description and title and thumbnail and do some other bits and pieces in the background. So I can't. Otherwise, I would. We used to do it before the watch-alongs. I used to do reviews regularly. But yeah, since then, just it's lots going on. But let's have a look at these lineups while we talk about the confidence level, shall we? I didn't test this. I probably should have done it. I had long enough to figure it out. Oh, it worked first time. I'm just the greatest technology expert of all time. The lineup for West Ham United to face Aston Villa at the London Stadium today is Areola in goal, Kera, Aged, Zuma and Emerson in defence. We have Rice, Souček and Paqueta with Bowen and Ben Rama on either side of Danny Ings. A 4-3-3 lineup is about as is expected. This is about what I expected. Question marks over, say, Antonio being fit. I think he probably would start if he was, but he's not. So obviously Danny Ings is in. Outside of that, and Kera, which I would prefer Johnson. Outside of that, that's probably about as expected a lineup as you're going to see. The bench being Anang on the bench, Johnson, Ogbonna, Downs, Cornet, Cresswell, Fornals, Lanzini, and Scamacca in what can only be described as a weird order. So the defenders, you've got Johnson, you've got Ogbonna, you've got Cresswell in midfield options, you've got Downs, you've got Fornals, you've got Lanzini, you have Cornet on the wing, you have Scamacca up front. It's just a very weird order there. For Aston Villa, we have Emi Martinez, Cash, Konsa, Mings and Alex Moreno. You have McGinn, Lewis and Ramsey in midfield with Buendia and Bailey on either side of Watkins. I think it will be a 4-3-3. It could be a 4-4-2 to be fair, with Jacob Ramsey and Buendia on either side of McGinn or Luis. But that is your lineup. McGinn's Martinez, Cash, Konsa, Mings, Moreno, McGinn, Luis, Ramsey, Buendia, Bailey and Watkins. Their bench: Olsen, Sinisalo, so they've gone for the double goalkeeper technique. Olsen, Sinisalo, Diego Carlos, Traore, Chambers, Young, Duran, and Lucadinha. But that is the two lineups for today. And let's see how much confidence that's giving you lot, shall we? 2-0-7-5-3-4-6-4-7-4-7. Good to see. Good to see you, Sonny. And everyone else who said hello, by the way. I've just missed it. I'm sure you know. Hello. 4-2, says Chris. 6-2-3-3-3-0. A lot of percent are solid A solid 1 out of 10. I was thinking maybe Jake's gone really bold there. Maybe Jake's really confident, but Jake is not really confident. 0, 5, 2, 4, 5, 1, 5. Could be a bad day in the office. Potentially. 3, 4, 5, 4, 2, 69.69696969. 4, 2.5. I'm not entirely confident, but we're done. 2 says Y front wonder. Thank you. There's not a lot of sense that comes out of my mouth, Russell. To be fair, if we're talking about it, and of course you should. If you say nice chair, it's shout out to Stuart Morris Accountants, your accounting professionals based in East London. That's how you know they're West Ham fan ran. You should definitely check them out. We don't have the link in the description, I don't believe, but Stuart Morris Accountants, look them up. Beautiful people. They're the ones who pay for it. So 6.5 says Steve. 7. Jake is here. West Ham Unofficial. Good to see you, Jake. If you haven't already subscribed to West Ham, hang on a second. If you haven't already subscribed to West Ham Unofficial, right? Make sure to do so. Jake does big bits. Jake, good to see you. 1 out of 10. Jake's not very confident. Which can't reflect it. 4, solid 1. It's a lot lower. Major, I am sorry. That was bad times. There's not a lot of confidence. It has to be said. You're looking through the chat, scrolling through, you're seeing lots of low numbers. I mean, you get every so often you get a Mike coming through with an 8. Good to see you, Mike. Big confidence levels from Mike. And I think maybe somewhere around the middle is where I would potentially put myself. I think the truth is that I'm not super confident. I look at that lineup, right? I'll put it back on screen. I look at that lineup and it doesn't fill me with confidence. But realistically, through context, it's about as good as I could expect. Like I say, I would probably swap Johnson and Kerr out. It's good to see Cornet making the bench. I'd like to see him come on and potentially make an impact again. But outside of that, that's probably the best 11 I can hope for. But does that fill me with confidence? No. But it's not that bad. Do I think we'll concede? Yes, we'll get onto score predictions and lock those in a few minutes' time. But I'd probably put myself somewhere in the middle. Maybe at a sort of 5-ish. If you look at me, say you'd get a draw at this game, I'd say yeah, maybe. If you look at me and say Aston Villa could win, I'd go yeah, maybe. If you look at us and say we win, I'd say maybe. It's one of those situations. I'm in North Idaho and I've bought the kids with me today. Love that. Good to see you, Harry and Ollie. I hope North Idaho is treating you well. Thank you very much for tuning in. I appreciate it. I will be. I've had to get up early to get to North Idaho today, which is stress for me. Be seeing how that ends up for me soon. If you are looking for a way to watch the game, that's why I'm in North Idaho with the boy. But if you are looking for a way to watch the game, you have no way of doing it because it's not on in the UK. It's not available to watch. There definitely are ways you can do it. If you look down into the description below, there's a bit there called Join Our Discord. Completely free, lovely Hammers Chat West Ham community. Lots of lovely people to have conversations with. But more importantly, on the left-hand side, there's a bit there called Stream Links in which you will find what you're looking for. Every time I play that animation, if I just let me just hang on. I'm just going to try and pause it. Look at that hair. Look how short my hair was. Hang on. Oh, I can't get it to pause. Come on, Charlie. You can do it. Look at that hair. How short was that compared to now? Bloody hell. I need to get my hair cut. Good to see you, Stu. Hope you're well, my friend. Hope you're having a good day. Flea's there as well. Good to see Lee as well. Hope he's well. Hope you're doing well. I'm doing all right. There are, of course, bells available for today. In case it's going wrong. Other things that we could do if it's going wrong, far be it from me to suggesting to David Moyes, is make a substitution. Sub bingo is, of course, the game where we predict where David Moyes will make his first substitution. You don't have to say the name, although I will put the bench just below there, just in case you want to add that little bit of extra spice. However, we're just looking for the minutes. When do you think David Moyes will make his first substitution? I am, of course, sticking to the 69-minute meta. It never wins, but I'm sticking to it. And I'm gonna saying I want to say Johnson for Kera, but I think that's probably too bold. I'm going to say 4 nows for Ben Rama. Cornet for Ben Rama was calling me, but I'm going to say 4 nows for Ben Rama, 69. That's what I'm going to say. 4 nows for Ben Rama, 69. But there is not a lot of confidence in the channel. I I can't blame you lot. I can't blame you lot, if we're being honest about it. It's wild, isn't it, Dean? I mean, it just, you know, I just bold, Major, bold. It's wild. It's one of those things. It's been an awful season, and realistically, we should be able to drag ourselves out of it. And we're in a decent position to do so compared to everyone else. Like, it's the fact that there are so many teams around us is helping a lot. A couple of wins that we shouldn't get, and then all of a sudden we're out of that relegation fight. But it's mad that we're in that situation, isn't it? What does Danny think the score's going to be? Danny, my friend. He's just having a look over there. Danny, what do you think the scoreline's going to be today? He says, oh, there you go. He says 2-1 West Ham. I don't know if I agree with him, but he says 2-1 West Ham. There's a lot of confidence going on there. More than maybe there should be. More than maybe there should be. M. Fortin, thank you very much for £2 and a full-time fund. Very kind of you. Rather Downs play at right wing back. I mean, might as well at this point, right? He's played everywhere else. Why not? Just stick him there. See what happens. See where it goes. Thank you for the £2 and a full-time fund. You did not have to do that. It's very kind of you. But at the same time, just lob him in there. See what happens. What's the worst that can happen? I'm trying to scroll down because I've missed a hell of a lot of of comments. The chat is jumping all over the place. So I apologise if I've missed your comment. I think I potentially saw Nick in there. Nick, if you're there, good to see you. Well, someone from Claret Booze. Might be Nick, might be one of the others. I just assume it's Nick because it's on the official account. Maybe that's me. I don't know. But I saw your comment, but it skipped past. Nice to see you. I hope you're well. Good luck getting there on time. But like I say, the flipping chat is jumping all over the place. I'm having a nightmare with this. I don't know what's going wrong with it, but it's going wild. So I'm just going to have to see what I can get and we move on. See what I can get, we can move on. But start to think about those full-time score predictions in a minute. We're going to be locking those in a minute. There you go. I can see the last one. Yes, Nick. Good to see you, Nick. I saw off ones and it was jumping. I apologise, but good to see. Right. Let me have a look. The chat is struggling. There we go. 80th minute when we're 2-0 down is a vibe. 60, not one I can disagree with. 62nd minutes, anyone for Souček. 82nd minute. 50 minutes, Bugas for Carrot. Listen, why not? I mean, I'm sure there's Premier League registration rules which will not allow us, but at the same time, why not? I'm terrified. 65 minutes, 4 nows for Ben Rama. Too late to be of any use, probably, says Susan. Strong. Fred says 45 minutes, Cornet for Bowen. As much of a fan of I am of Paqueta, sadly lacks stamina, says Yuri. Don't think that's necessarily incorrect, to be fair. 45 minutes down for Souček. I don't know. He's just not fast in general. I don't know if it's a stamina issue. I just don't think he's very fast. 45 minutes downs for Souček. If we're losing 3-0, which 3 defenders do you think Moyes will bring on? All of them. Johnson, Ogbonna, Cresswell. The 3 defenders we have on the bench. All of them. Let's go. Big plays. Shore up the defence. Half-time, if we're losing. I've started to believe that there might be a little bit of half-time subs coming our way at some point. I don't know why. The last couple of games, I've just had this vibe in the back of my mind that says he's going to start doing it more. See, this is kind of what I was thinking of. Tabletop. It's kind of what I was thinking of. It won't help. But it's not. I don't know. It's in my head. Ogbonna for Ings, 10th minute. He was getting a bashing. Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't start today. To be fair, I thought Ogbonna was going to come straight back in for Zuma. That was my vibe. I thought he would go with Ogbonna and Kerr again. I don't know why. It's just what I thought would happen. He hasn't, to be fair. But I just assumed it. Cornet for Benny when Moyes realises we're losing. Yeah, potentially. Cornet for Benny just sounds like a big one. Cornet for Bowen as well, potentially. I quite like the idea of seeing him on the right as well. I don't know. I just think Cornet brings something very different to us, right? When I was watching the game against Larnaca and he came on, and obviously he looked really good when he came on. But I just think he's just something completely different that we don't have usually. You know, he just has a directness, a speed to him that is a little bit different. I'm not, Gonzo is well known for being someone who is super into pace, and that's fair enough. I'm not exactly not into pace. That is a disgrace, Lewis. That is a disgrace. Pissed. I wouldn't say I'm not all about pace. I wouldn't say I'm against pace or anything, but I don't think it's. I don't yearn for it as much as Gonzo does. But what I would say is that little bit extra is just something completely different to what we don't have. Right? He's faster than Bowen. Like, none of our other wide players really have any pace. Like, Bowen has a bit of pace, but he's not exactly a pace merchant. Let's say. Ben Rama's not really a pacer. He's not really rapid. Fornals isn't really rapid. I think he's maybe underrated with pace, but he's not in a position to take on his man and take him on. And that was that difference that Cornet brought that moment into the what should have been an assist for Paqueta, if we're being honest about it. The spin, the take on your man, bang, perfect free ball. It's just that little bit different. And that's the kind of vibe that I'm sort of hoping he can bring in this, maybe for second half sub and in future down the line. But we are only a couple of minutes away from kickoff, ladies and gentlemen, which means it's now time to officially lock in those score predictions. Okay, so what we're going to be doing is we're going to be we've gone through the teams, we've gone through the lineups, we've gone through the subs benches, we've gone through potential subs, we've gone through potential scenarios. We've been here for over an hour at this point. So I think now is the time where we all are the most intelligent we're ever going to be. Okay? Let's lock in those final score predictions. Let's lob them in chat, and then we will, of course, lock them into place. My personal channels are both, I have two, and neither are worth looking at. I have one called A Top Lad, which has some video game stuff on it, and a Waterloo Road video on it, and has other stuff coming up. A Top Lad. I'm trying to sort of figure out what that's going to be. It's probably just going to be dumb videos as and when I figure them out, like this one I'm doing at the moment about Bargain Hunt, which is going to be a banger. And then I have a wrestling channel called A Top Mark, which I haven't uploaded on in ages. I need to reboot before WrestleMania. We'll see how it goes. You don't have to subscribe, though. It's a mess. Let's have a look at these score predictions, though, because this is the big bit. This is the big bit. And actually, while you lob those in, I should load up the North Idaho TV network, as it were. While that loads up, let's have a look. And again, that's just if you are looking for a way to watch the game, I'll definitely make sure you do it. Let's have a look at some of these score predictions, though, while we're there. 2-1 to Villa, says Anthony Stress. Charlotte is saying 3-1 to Villa, 2-1 West Ham, 2-0 West Ham, 2-1 Aston Villa, 2-1 West Ham, 3-1 Aston Villa. It's maybe too late for it, although I suspect it would go quite poorly for the vibes. 2-0 to West Ham, 2-1 to West Ham, Villa 3-0, Villa 3-1, 1-1, Villa 3-1, 2-2, 3-0 Villa, it breaks my heart to say, 2-0 Villa, West Ham 1, Villa 2, going 2-1, Annie Dings against them, written in the stars, isn't it? Dean, I only hope so. I can only hope. 2-2 says Natan, 2-2 says Stu, 3-1 Villa, 1-1, 3-0, 2-0, 2-0. Look, there's clearly not a lot of confidence in the score predictions. And again, I can't exactly sit here and act like people are wrong about that. I'm going to say 2-1 to I'm going to say 2-1 to Aston Villa. That's my gut. I don't think it'll be worse than that. I don't think we're going to get a big, massive conceding like we did against Brighton. I think they're very different scenarios. Imagine the scenes, Major. Imagine the scenes. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be a big loss. I don't think it'll be a big win. I think there are goals for both sides. I don't think many. I'm going to stick with 2-1 to Aston Villa. But hopefully, stress. Hopefully, it goes better than that. But let's lock those in now. We're gonna take the lever. We're going to lock them in. Again, I'm just fully embracing that at this point. I'm just fully embracing the lock-in thing. I don't know what it is. I don't know why it is. But yeah, Jack is going 3-1 Villa. Fact. He's lobbed a fact in, ladies and gentlemen, which as we all know means it's happening. It's happening, right? I really need to find a thing. I have a timer up in the top corner, of course, because I will be slightly behind you because of YouTube lag, and also definitely because, I'm in North Idaho, and that's the way you have to watch these games. You have to. I'm in North Idaho, and you can't. You definitely can't watch it in the UK. So that's the stress we're living in today, ladies and gentlemen. So I will be slightly behind you, but there is a timer in the top corner which will tell you exactly how far behind I am, in case you are wondering, oh, why hasn't Charlie seen Aston Villa's third goal yet? That's why. I'll see him eventually. I'll see him eventually. But one last time while I load up the North Idaho TV network, as it were. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe and hit that bell notification button so you don't miss out on any future videos. We've got tons of stuff coming up during the week. We, of course, have a little break coming up soon from West Ham games, but that doesn't mean we won't be uploading because, Jesus Christ, we've got plans. We've got ideas. So I would highly recommend, if you haven't already, hitting that bell notification button because it's just going to be lots of stuff going on. And hey, like the video because it helps us out massively, When people type in West Ham, Aston Villa, it means we'll come up higher. And is that not what we all want? more people to see a cardboard cutout of Danny DeVito and me eating baby bells. Is that not what's necessary in life? I feel like it is. I feel like it is. North Idaho TV Network is currently letting me down, but we'll be kicking off momentarily. There we go. This might be fine. Ladies and gentlemen, live at the London Stadium. It is, I know, it's wild, isn't it? Kieran, my G, how are you, sir? CD, I hope you're well. I hope you're having a grand old time down in the Southern Hemisphere. It is, of course, West Ham United versus Aston Villa at the London Stadium. I'll put the lineup. Thank you very much. I forgot to change it back to the lineup. There we go. Kicking off in just a few moments' time for me. 2-1 is the prediction I've gone with. I feel stressed about that, but, you know, we're here now, and that's the way it's going. That's the way it's going. Aston Villa in there. I quite like their black. I quite like their away black kit. I think it's quite decent. I don't know why. It's just something, a vibe. It looks like a vibe. And we are underway. I've misclicked the button. There we go. We are underway. Come on, you irons. Deploy the boys. It's time to run 2 things. Here we go. Instantly, very sat off. Very sat off. Aston Villa, Tyrone Mings is just standing with the ball for at least 5 to 10 seconds there. Not a hint of pressing. Not a hint of really trying to make it count. Or at least not pressure. There is of course covering the passing lanes, but not a lot of pressure. Very passive. Almost aggressively so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Huge boos coming from the stadium as Emi Martinez just stood with his foot on the ball as we didn't come even remotely close to him for at least 15 seconds there, because I started counting several seconds in the Innings Classico. Yeah, I feel like there's something. I feel like there's something there, like the Classingzico or something. There's something there. I just don't know what it is. You know, I just don't know what it is. But there is something there. The Classings. I don't know what it is. I'm not smart enough to figure that out. And there were I'm shocked. There were actual boobs from the home end when that was going on. Actual boobs from the home end. Well, it sounded like it was from the home end anyway. Villa currently with control of the ball, very deep in their half, with not a single man coming close to them. Hopefully that is the case. Hopefully when we're on the ball, we'll be a bit more vibey. But I'll be honest with you, we've come out unbelievably defensive so far. Unbelievably defensive. So, good to see Ben. And by the way, if any of you have ever used a link from the Discord, one of the massive people to thank. Ben, Affers, lovely lad, but also does a lot of work with that. I don't know who put him in. Was it you? It was. If you used one today, thank Ben. They had the ball. Aston Villa had the ball, right? And they were passing it sort of around slowly at the back. So I say slowly was what I was aiming for. So at the back. And we were stood completely off, right? Not unexpected for us. We're not someone who chases sort of headlessly. But we were stood very far off. To the point where I counted maybe 15 seconds, maybe more, where Emi Martinez stood still with the ball without touching it. To the point where there was literal boos. We've come out very, very defensive. Or maybe not defensive, is not the word. We've come out very tentative, very cautious. They're not finding any success getting forward, Aston Villa. With 3.5 minutes in, they're still in possession of the ball, sort of passing it around in their defence, but it is very, very cautious. I mean, let's be honest. If David Moyes wanted to get people onside early, this was not the way to do it. However, if it works, it works, I guess, and that's his plan. But if he wanted to get people on side, this was not the way to do it. Jarrod Bowen goes down, probably going to be a free kick to West Ham. It wasn't anything bad. It wasn't anything bad. It's gonna be a long day, bro. It's gonna be a long day. But appreciate you. And I can't say whether or not I am on one of those links, Ben. So I'm in North Idaho. I couldn't possibly say. Judas, my trustworthy friend. Hope you're well. Hope you're good. It's bad, Ballon Dawson, isn't it? It's bad how just passive and inactive they were. Danny Ings battling for it, trying to win the ball. He does well. Ball came forward to him, bounced about, but he manages to get there. Jarrod Bowen drives down the right. He puts it in, looking for Souček, that's one of the keys today. Is going to be getting Thomas Souček in those advanced positions. Thilo Kehrer with his first mistake there, although wins the ball straight back. Fair play to him. One of those key things is going to be Thomas Souček getting in and around the box. You saw Danny Ings fighting for the ball, lays it off to Jarrod Bowen. He's basically next to him on the wing. And it's about a good little nip in there from Paqueta, and we're going to win a free kick. In those positions, it's going to be important, right? Because Danny Ings out of position, Bowen gets in a good position to cross. He's going to cross it in. Ben Rama's not going to really do much in those positions. He might be able to arrive if we sort of pull it back or something like that. That's going to be key. Getting Thomas Souček into those advanced areas so we are able to do something from that. And that's something we have done in the last couple of games. Brighton obviously not. But the rest of them, we have managed to do it. Smeet. Good to see you. Hope you're well. Lee, what a guy. Lee, hope you're well. Hope you're good, my bro. Sorry, I was taking a chat. It's going to be a free kick. It's West Ham on the right-hand side. Jarrod Bowen to take. Declan Rice is also standing over it. Don't know why, but there we go. He's here to do it, and he's going to do it regardless. It's pretty near the touchline. We've got most people forward. Zuma's up there, for example. Declan Rice is the one who whips it in. Ooh, close. It goes. It's going to be a goal kick. Again, it's claiming for a corner. Not quite there. Whipped in from Declan Rice. It's actually, to be fair to him, it's a good free kick. I'll give Declan Rice that. I don't particularly like him on set pieces, but that was pretty flipping good. Thomas Souček has to duck underneath it. He was offside. And it comes to Aged, who I don't think was fully aware of what was going on, and goes out for a goal kick. I agree with you, Stu. My gut says it depends. If it's a bad loss, then I think he'll go. If it's just a sort of 1-0 type thing, then I think he'll stay. But I think time has run out for him at this point. Time has run out for him. Villa passing round to the back. The key for them is they're going to want to get through quickly, because if they're allowing us, if they're playing relatively slowly, which they are doing right now, then what they're gonna need to do is play through faster, because the slower they are, the more likely we are to get into defensive shape, no matter where it is, whether it be high up the pitch in their sort of area, or whether it be deep in the pitch in our sort of area. The slower you are, the more position we're going to be, a better position we're going to get into. And so in the sort of incredibly passive defensive structure we're playing, Danny Ings and Ben Rama almost linking up for something nice there. Can't quite make it work. Danny Ings is playing a sort of he is playing in the middle of a 3. It's almost 4-2-3-1 or 4-4-1-1, however you want to word it when they have the ball in defence. Aston Villa, Thomas Souček gets very high, sort of standing on Douglas Luiz. You have Paqueta standing on John McGinn. But you need to. He's a bit isolated, and the balls are coming to his head, and that's not great for Danny Ings. Anyway, they're going to want to play through that line quicker, because that will allow them chances. Because when we do get into shape, it is annoyingly difficult to get through us. Brighton, obviously the exception. We're usually quite good at stopping teams from going through us. It's when teams speed up that we really struggle. So that's what they're going to be wanting to try and do. But right now they're not. They're passing around very slowly. Under not much pressure. And we're looking to nip in and counter-attack quickly. This is about as David Moyes as you're ever going to see. This is about as David Moyes as ever is going to see. You watch longer, I hope it's a good thing. Steve, good to see you, my friend. I hope you're well. Thank you very much for coming. Appreciate it. It's very kind of you. Thank you for choosing us over the 18,000 watch-alongs there are. If it ain't for you, that's fine. Go watch. You can watch a different one. There's plenty of others which I would highly recommend. But thank you for choosing us. That's very kind. That's very kind. We are very close. I was talking to Gio about this the other day. We are very, very close. I don't know how close. Let me have a little look. We get another throw in slightly further down the line. Kara going to take it on the right-hand side. Where are we at? Where are we at? We're at 200. We're at 29,910. We have had watch-along streams before where we've had over 100 subs. It has happened. And so potentially we could hit 30,000 in this stream. Will it? I don't know. I doubt it, but we could do. We'll see. Also, N Thornton, I forgot to put your name in the top corner, so I'll be doing that now. I apologise. There you go. Thank you very much for the full-time fund. Dono, you didn't need to do that whatsoever. It's very kind of you. Ooh. Look at this admin live on stream. You love to see it. Ben Rama on the ball. Flicked back to Declan Rice, who's in sort of our defensive third. Finds Kurt Zuma. Kurt Zuma and Aged, that's going to be one of the keys to surviving big long ball. Trying to look for Jarabo and can't find it. One of the keys to our survival is going to be Kurt Zuma and Aged coming together and working as a partnership. That was obviously the idea, right? When he got brought in, that would be the ideal partnership, and that's 50 million plus worth of centre back there, and both on their day incredibly good. If we can get them 38% possession so far, if we can get them playing well together, then teams will really struggle. It's just about keeping them both fit and playing well, which we haven't been able to do so far this season. Yeah, it's more to just get him in the box. It's more to just get him in and around the box, right? It's a sort of, he's sort of, when we have the opportunity to, and when we're in a defensive structure, when they're sort of, basically when they have the ball deep in their half as well, he's very high up the pitch, trying to cut out balls into the sort of defensive midfielders, Luiz, for example, Douglas Luiz, John McGinn. And then when we're on the attack, he gets very, very high up as well, just trying to get in those spaces because, let's be real, Danny Ings is going to win a header. Type and Ram dinks it in again. So, Souček was the one that's there. He's almost an auxiliary second striker at that point. Back out wide again to Said Benrahma. The crossing was, not going to lie, it was awful, but we've won. We've won a corner and I'll take it. We've won a corner and I'll take it. He's my friend, which is maybe the saddest thing I've ever said out loud. He's my friend. Don't Google it. He's an Arsenal fan. But he's here. I can't explain it. He is here. He is here. Seeing a lot of Snodgrass hate in the chat, and the thing about Snodgrass is he wasn't the best player in the world, bless him, but he tried hard. I don't know. I like Robert Snodgrass. Wasn't technically the best player in the world. Wasn't the most useful player in the world, but he tried hard, and I respect that, you know? Big boot over to Jared Bowen. Connection is, control is all right. He takes on his man. Dinks it across. Can't quite get there. Oh, late arrival from Said Benrahma. It was a difficult one. It would have been very difficult to blap that in from range. Not from range, sorry. First time on the volley, but it was nicely done. Again, with a beautiful crossfield ball at Nathan Agard himself. Jared Bowen, it's a nice takes on Moreno, puts it in with his weak foot, and arriving at the back post was Said Benrahma. Sprints onto it, first time volley. Difficult on his weak foot. It's difficult to have kept down, but I tell you what, he's done okay. And the fact he's there is a good thing. The cross wasn't great, but we're getting there. As much as I don't like how passive we are, I will say it's working. We're being very, very passive, but when we're getting the ball, we're going very quickly with it, and that's the idea, right? Callum saying we don't look too bad yet. I've seen some other people saying some decent things. Carlton, are we playing good? Asks Carlton. It's okay. I'll say it's all right. It's all right. We're very, very passive. Oh, nice little flick around the back from Keta. Couldn't quite find Jarabone. It's very passive. I do. I have a whole new net to say. I'm not keen on like how standoffish we are, but in terms of going forward, when we get the ball, we're very quick with it, which again is something we haven't done enough recently. I'm enjoying that side of it. It's going to be a frustrating and long day, and if Aston Villa score, it's not good. It's not good at all. Being honest about it, this is a very preventative tactic we're playing right now. Not that we ever don't try and stop the other team from scoring, although 4-0 against Brighton maybe suggests we're not very good at it, even if we are trying. And obviously, good interception from Thomas Souček there. And that's a great first-time ball from Jared Bowen. Danny Ings almost getting in behind there. That's really nice stuff. Again, that first time, literally, Jared Bowen, bang, over the top. We're luring Aston Villa in. We're putting them in a position where they're just going to be boringly passing it around at the back. And again, they're not Brighton. They're not as good as Brighton are playing through the lines. When we get the ball, bang, go. And that's decent. That's decent. It's about capitalising that on, though. But opening 15 minutes, yeah, I think we're all right. Not the greatest performance you've ever seen. Far from the worst. I think we're doing okay. We have so far, Callum, is what I'd say. I think we've been a better team. Jack, if you are looking for a way to watch the game, my friend, there are definitely ways you can do it. Look on your screen right now. It will explain the process to you perfectly. What do you think about Danny Ings? The formation doesn't really suit him. How we're playing doesn't really suit him. We're not really making the most out of Danny Ings. But you can copy and paste that over every striker West Ham have had under David Moyes, basically, apart from Mikel Antonio, if we're being honest about it. Paqueta does well to keep the ball there under a little bit of pressure. It looked like he'd flopped it, but he manages to keep it. Lays it out to Said Benrahma, who slows it down a lot. I would be in this sort of style we're playing, I would be tempted to change. Oh, that's a great through ball. Souček can't quite get there, but a nice through ball. I think that was Paqueta again, outside of his left boot, trying to bend it into the path of, I think it was Thomas Souček. Really nicely done. Is it Thomas Souček? Was it Danny Ings? Yeah, it's Danny Ings. It's a really nice outside of the boot pass from Lucas Paqueta. He was never going to get there, and he ends up being offside anyway, so he was never going to get there, but it is what it is. Yeah, we're not utilising him to the best of his... We're not utilising him to his strengths at all, but again, that's not really odd for us under David Moyes. The only striker we have utilised to the best of our abilities is Mikel Antonio, right? Whipped in from Aston Villa. Header! 1-0. Basically the first chance they've had, and it's 1-0. It's 1-0 to Aston Villa, and Ollie Watkins is the one who gets the goal. Like I said, if we concede, it's bad. If we concede, it's bad because we've set up here basically to completely stop them. And what's happened there is they've gone up the other end, and it's really the first time they've even had anything in that sort of area, and they've scored. And shock, it's down Thilo Kehra's side. What? Colour me case surprise, right? Play it down the right-hand side. Little bit of space. Thilo Kehra doesn't get anywhere near him. Whips it in. The header from Ollie Watkins is really good, to be fair. Gets in round the back of Aged. Nods it down. Off the floor. Bap. Up into the top corner. Easy as you like. Frustrating. Very frustrating. The North Idaho TV network's gone down. Goal. Villa. Yeah, no. The thing is, we were playing faster before. It's just... It's poor from other people as well. Don't get me wrong. I'm talking about Thilo Kehra because I think it's as obvious as you like that the ball was going to go down his side and a goal come from it because he's just awful. But at the same time, it's not just his fault. To be fair, it's not just his fault at all. Yeah. What can you do? 1-0 Aston Villa. Good luck, boys. Not going to happen now, is it? If we're being honest, not going to happen. Yeah, no one. Bowen wasn't close. Kehra wasn't close. Ball gets played in. Kanibaning masterclass. Oh, crap. It's the first. Is that their first shot? It feels like their first shot. Certainly was their first attack. Their first major attack that actually went well and got them into a half decent position. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's 1-0 to Aston Villa. It's 1-0 to Aston Villa. Timer is significantly off now, thanks to the North Idaho TV network. You'll have to see it. Can't see anything, so I'm just gonna enjoy the vibes of the chat. I'm just gonna enjoy the vibes of the chat. I don't know, man. We have set up purely to stop them, to be as annoying and counter-attacking as possible. And as I said, the second they were going to score, it was going to be an issue. Shock. Here we are again. You know, I don't think it's entirely. The thing is you can obviously talk about some sort of luck, right? Tilo Kehrer on the ball right now, passing down the right-hand side, looking for Bowen, Souček again. It's nice, quick passing. In that sense, we've not been bad. Bowen whips it across, can't quite get there. The thing is, in that sense specifically, it's not been that bad. The problem is, of course, Unai Emery, by the way, on the pitch, throwing mad shapes. The energy coming from that guy. Good ball down the line to Ollie Watkins. Thomas Souček does well. Not Thomas Souček, Kurt Zuma does well. We haven't been that bad, but the problem is these things go against you, right? And when you're in a position where you're not creating enough, and they score, you're screwed. You're just screwed. Can we consider ourselves slightly unlucky to some extent of the way this has gone? Yes, we can. Can we blame ourselves big time because you put yourselves in those positions? Whipped in from the corner from Aston Villa. Areola catches it, throws it out quickly. Looking for Said Benrahma on the left-hand side. Has to slow down a little bit. Oh, the idea for the through ball was nice. But again, we're sort of just hoping Danny Ings can do something. I don't like the way we've set up with Danny Ings at all. It sits wrong with me. It's a London Stadium atmosphere so far. Nothing that big. It was non-existent, Michael. It was non-existent. Like I said, their whole thing, right? Aston Villa are going to have to play quicker. If they can play quicker, then they can get through the space. You know, big. It's not making an excuse, usual suspects. It's just being honest. We have been okay in this game, but we make our own bad luck. You put yourself in a negative position where you're just trying to stop them from scoring, which puts you in a position where you are unlikely to score. If they score, you are screwed. It's not an excuse. It's just being completely honest about the situation. We are bad. We are bad. David Moyes has set this up in a way which has allowed this to happen. Putting Tilo Kehrer right back is suicidal. Defensively, we're all over the shop. It's not an excuse. It's just honesty. You know, it's just honesty. I think you look at the defending, it's just non-existent for that goal. Tilo Kehrer again, just losing out completely. He's so bad, man. He's so bad. It's very frustrating to watch. It's unbelievably frustrating because in reality, again, because we set up as we always do to frustrate our opponents and to try and stop them getting through. And Villa, as I was saying, what they need to be doing is they need to pass through the lines quicker because the faster you can get through, the less likely we are to be able to set up in a position where we can actually defend. And instead, what we do is we set up and then when they get through, they get through those lines relatively quickly because people are out of place. Again, it's not entirely a shock that they got through the lines on the right-hand side where Tilo Kehrer was completely out of position and everything else and doesn't come close to attacking him. Shock horror. When those situations happen, we concede, and now we're in a situation where we're set up in a way which will make us less likely to score. And they've scored. Do you know what I mean? It's annoying. North Idaho TV network's down. Oh, I can see the word pen to West Ham. I wish I could see it. That would be beautiful. That would be a wonderful old time if we could see it. There's a penalty to West Ham, ladies and gentlemen. The chat are going to have to keep me updated on what's going on because I'm struggling right now. I've got one that's like 20 seconds behind where I was. It's whipped in from the corner. Palmed away. Hit, bounces up. Oh, Ollie Watkins off the line. Off the bloody hell. Ollie Watkins off the line. Nods it. People go down. Paqueta goes down. There is the penalty. I can see it right. Ryan, thank you very much for the £2 to the full-time fund. Very, very, very kind of you, sir. I'll be putting your name up there again. Very kind of you to donate again. You didn't have to do that at all. I'll be putting your name up there in a second. But I now can see the penalty has been conceded. It's Leon Bailey on Lucas Paqueta who does it. Ball gets whipped in from a corner. It's up high in the air. It's good control from Paqueta. Second touch is very awkward. He goes down. I'll be honest. I'm not looking at the chat because I know you lot will be ahead of me. It's clumsy. It's the commentator said the word clumsy, and I think that's probably the best way of describing it. Great block off the line by Ollie Watkins, by the way. It's clumsy and it's unlucky from Leon Bailey, but that's what happens when you're in those positions. It's a penalty. A goal here would really help us out. This would be very, very useful if we could just sneak in here and just get a slightly undeserved, if we're being perfectly honest, goal. That would be really nice. That would be really nice, although it's going to VAR. They were checking a foul on the goalkeeper, on Emi Martinez, which doesn't go through, and it's going to be a pen. It's going to happen. I should probably put this at the time I'm looking at. Saeed Benrahma to take. Probably the best penalty taker we have, in my opinion. It's at least on the pitch that I can think of. He's much better than most people. He's calm under pressure. He's got a lot of composure in those situations. He's the sort of person I would want taking this. The timer in my top corner is correct now. Here he steps up. Saeed Benrahma. Please, this would be really useful. Oh, it's a flipping great pen. It's a great pen. Saeed Benrahma gets West Ham back on level terms. My God, we've a little bit been fished out of that one. I'll take it, but we have been a little bit saved. Saeed Benrahma with the pen. It's a really good pen as well. Just blasts it home. It's West Ham United 1, Aston Villa 1. Oh, Titch, my G. I haven't seen you in ages. How are you, sir? You all right? How's things? I haven't seen you in a while. Stuart said you weren't feeling too good a couple of weeks ago, I think it was. But how are you? I hope you're well, bro. I'll DM you after this to see how you are properly. But I'm well. I'm good. People won't like my opinion. I think we've been... Titch, tell you what's happened. I think we've been fine. I think we've set up very, very passively. Aston Villa scored with their first attempt. That's a great penalty. Absolutely pile drives that one home. Absolutely smashes that home. You take that. We take that very happily. But yeah, we've been okay is the way I would describe it. Not good enough, but we've been okay. Defensively, that was shambolic for them, but we've been okay. We've been okay. Saeed Benrahma. That's a great penalty. That's such a good penalty. He literally lashed it home. Declan Rice controls the ball in the centre of the park. Through ball doesn't quite work out. Danny Ings just sprints forward to cover the passing lanes. Martin is forced to kick forward. We maintain possession of the ball, Aston Villa. Half hour in, almost. And we've been... Yeah, I'll message you after this, but appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you massively. we just stress. It's just stress. I've got a lot of stress. Got a lot of stress in the back of my mind right now. Again, we're very passive. I'm really enjoying Unai Emery on the touchline. I know, like, obviously, you know, there are bigger things at play here right now. But Unai Emery's poses on the touchline are beautiful. Every time the camera goes across the middle of the pitch, just have a little look. Just have a little look. My man is doing all sorts of shapes. It's absolutely wild. Emerson comes away with the ball. Lays it out wide to Said Benrahma. Tries to take on Cash. Doesn't quite do it. Lays it inside instead to Paqueta. That's nicely done. Tries to... Oh, Souček's charging for it. Oh, he battles with Emi Martinez. And wins a corner. Fair play, Thomas Souček. That is really good work from Thomas there. Ball gets played down the line. It doesn't quite... I don't know. Benny maybe could have taken on his man. Doesn't decide to do it. Instead, steps off. Paqueta comes through. Just lays it off. It dinks up. And Thomas Souček does really well just to shoulder charge 50-50 with Emi Martinez. Puts him down. And that's really nice work. We take that. Mr. Iron with the super sticker, thank you very much for the 149 into the full-time fund. Thank you. That is very kind. Played in, 2 people go down, nothing happens. Back out wide to Jared Bowen. Wide on the right-hand side. Looks to try and cross it in, can't quite make it work. Luis gets the block. Continue with the ball. Benrahma whips it in, header from Kurt Zouma, just wide. Just wide. Good work. Well worked. There were calls for a penalty in the midst of it. Not for me, but that's a really nice cross from, don't know who that is. I think is it Simon Rama? It's a really nice cross. And Kurt Zouma just full stretch, can't quite get there. It's a little bit too far ahead of him, to be fair. It's a little bit too far ahead of him. Thank you very much to Ryan and Mr. Iron for the full-time fund. Donos, very kind of you. Very kind of you. And we went to taking down Danny Ings in the box there. Didn't really see it, but you know. Now you know what it's like being me, Josh, right? I have to sit here in a chat at all times, just potential spoilers for me. And the worst part about it is most of the time, people aren't spoiling it in the chat. They're just, people aren't lying in the chat. They're just being honest. And I might see it before I go, right? And I'll go, oh, I've just seen that in the chat. Let's see what happens. But, you know, stress. It's stress. It's the way it goes. The game. The game's the game. Yeah, someone made the comment about it looking like a sort of a 4-1-4-1. It definitely is. That's the shape we've sort of been using of late. That's the sort of shape we've been using of late in these kind of positions. Is a kind of 4-1-4-1. We're doing it again here. Very easily passed through the middle. Douglas Luiz finds it out wide to Alex Moreno, which isn't ideal, but it is what it is. But again, Villa have taken too long here. Villa have taken too long and they aren't really setting big ball over the top. Kurt Zouma does well with that. It was a little bit shaky for a second there. Rice back passes to Areola very interestingly, let's say, but Areola deals with it, thankfully. If that was Fabianski, I'd be a bit more concerned, but Areola in those situations isn't too bad. Villa aren't really setting... They're playing, like I say, when they scored, they played fast. Outside of that, they've been playing very slowly. And so you look in this scenario specifically, and you think, right, well, realistically, what you need to be doing is luring us in to some extent, and we're not engaging like that. We're refusing to be lured. Again, the temptation for them would be maybe to pass it a little bit deeper back to that nice ball over the top there to Said Benrahma on the left-hand side. Slows the game down instantaneously, a bit annoyingly, but whatever. Nice step overs, plays it in towards Danny Ings well headed away by Conser. Jarrod Bowen battling for the ball. This is where Villa need to be better and quicker. I tell you what, that's good. That's good work from Emerson there. Just engages really quickly with Bailey. I think it was Bailey. Just engages really quickly with him. There's a moment where it looks dangerous and they could potentially play forward quicker, and he just comes up and stops that from going. There were a bit of 6 and 7s. That's an awful pass from Bailey off the foot of Paqueta, and it's going to be a throw into Aston Villa. But that defensive work there wasn't too bad. That defensive work there was pretty decent. I'm very jealous. Jesus, I'm jealous. Very hungry. I'm very hungry. I'm seeing a lot of Casemiro. As he said, get sent off. Who are they facing? Is it Southampton? Is it Man United, Southampton? We need them to beat Southampton. There you go. Joshua says that. We'll see how that ends up playing out. See, I would disagree with you, Mr. Iron, but I see a lot of people saying something similar, to be fair. Played in. Oh, Watkins gets a hit on it, but he can't get anywhere near a comfortable shot on it. Tries to hook his foot around Kurt Zouma. Can't quite make it happen. Again, when they pass it quickly, that's when the problems occur. It's a really nice cross, to be fair. It's cross to Ollie Watkins, but Kurt Zouma's in a nice position to stop that just through presence alone, let alone doing anything complicated. Yeah, I would disagree with you, Mr. Iron, but I see a lot of people saying something very similar, to be fair. So who am I to judge? Who am I to say anything? Villa free kick in the middle of the park, decide to pass it backwards. The thing is, right, it's not enjoyable. I'll say that first. Before I say anything, it's not enjoyable. But what we're doing is sort of vaguely effective. This is what David Moyes wants, you know? This is what David Moyes will be, apart from their goal, will be happy with this performance so far. We probably aren't. I'm not massively hyped about it, let's say. But David Moyes so far, 35 minutes in, will probably be happy with the way this game has played out. Apart from their goal, he'll be happy with the way this has played out. Awkward pass back to Emi Martinez, who under a little bit of pressure finds Tyrone Mings. Poor positioning, but we win the ball back. Oh, nice first touch pass from Ings to Ben Rama. Useless shot straight at Martinez, but it is how it is. Good to see you, X. I'm going to go with Envy. I'll say Envy. I'll just say Envy. Yeah, man. Like I was just saying, I think David Moyes will be happy with this. The way this has played out so far, he will be very happy with this. Outside of their goal, they've had 3 shots. We've had 7. We're very, very, very passive. We're very passive. We're standing off them a lot. We're just stopping and waiting for them to do something. Our counter-attacks have been a lot quicker, although they've slowed down a little bit as the half have gone on. They have been quicker than they have been for a while. It's very David Moyes. In general, am I happy with it? Not really. Will David Moyes be happy with it? Yes. I'm seeing a lot of carer shout in the chat. I'm excited to see what awful thing he does next. This is so anti-football. Oh my God, Tilo Kerr's positioning. He's so bad. Like, that positioning was so god awful. Even the co-commentator right now is absolutely rinsing Tilo Kehrer right now. He's awful, man. He's so bad. His positioning is just an absolute mess. Bailey tries to take on Emerson, whose positioning is better. He still allows the cross to come in, but it's straight at Areola. The problem is when we get turnovers in that sort of deep position, that stops us from being that stops off from being fast on the counter attack. 38th minute is marking a round of applause for Dylan Tombides, of course. West Ham youth player who passed away in sad circumstances. DT8 Foundation, DT38 Foundation. Highly recommend you all check out their good work. Because that was it's a sad situation. And the crowd are giving a round of applause for the 38th minute. Oh, that's not a bad shout. It's not a bad ball over the top from Paqueta to Souček, whose cross is lacking, although Ben Rama at the far side manages to just hook it in. We'll take a corner. More beef going down in the box in the build-up to that corner. One of the Aston Villa players goes down. There's a lot of jostling. Going on. Lots of gripsing of the boys. It's going to be a corner from the left-hand side. Whipped in first time. Looking for Agard. Can't quite get there. Was it Emerson who took that, I think? And now Aston Villa almost got bloody hell. That was a shot from range. Aston Villa looked like there was a moment where they could go flying forward. It lands to side Ben Rama, who's pile driver from range. Maybe has not stopped going up yet. Lots of... Yeah. I'm saying a lot of bad things about Thilo Kehrer, and I've seen a couple of you saying some bad things. I've seen a couple of you saying some things about him not being big time, Lewis. About him not being a fullback, and that is very true. He's obviously a centre back. I wouldn't want him in a back two either. In a back three at right centre back, yeah, okay, fine. But outside of that, it's a very dangerous situation. I'm not necessarily... Oh, that's a nice forward pass to looking for Alex Moreno. He does okay there, Kehrer. He steps too far out. And again, the analogy I was making back in the day, and when he first joined, I say back in the day, it was like 5 months ago or whatever it was. The analogy I used to make was I was talking about Pablo Zabaleta and how when Zabaleta first joined, he would sort of... His positioning wasn't entirely great either. He would maybe step a bit too far outside of his front line. But at some point, it clicked in his brain pretty early on, pretty quick. It clicked in his brain, I'm no longer playing for Manchester City here. I don't have the likes of Vincent Kompany behind me to sort of drag me out of a situation when we're in heavy possession. And he played a hell of a lot better once that sort of changed his brain. Moreno does really well. Plays it across. Ollie Watkins. My God. How is that not in the net? Villa should be 2-1 up. Villa 1000% should be 2-1 up. They play it down that right-hand side. They play it out wide. Kehrer comes to try and get tight to Moreno. He's off him. Played in once again. And Jacob Ramsey hooks the ball into... Oh my God. Hooks the ball across to Ollie Watkins, who practically in the 6-yard box in the centre of the park, can't open up his body enough and angle it anywhere apart from straight into Areola. Jesus Christ, that really should be 2. Big ball over the top of Jarrod Bowen, charging through, can't quite get on the end of it. Second half of this first half, if you see what I'm saying, the last sort of 15 minutes or whatever, 20 minutes or so have been significantly worse than the first from an attacking standpoint. I don't feel like we've really gotten to grips with it in the same way we had. I thought we were sort of looking dangerous, like we could potentially create stuff. It wasn't working, but yeah. Oh God, that is awful defending from us, and it should be 2-1. It really should be 2-1. Michael, if you're looking for a way to watch the game, my friend, there are definitely ways you can do it. Very stressed right now watching this. I'm very stressed. This is a very stressful game. Usually in these sort of scenarios, I'm not too stressed. Usually I'm relatively calm. If you're a long time watcher or watch alongs, you know this, right? I'm usually pretty calm. Right now I'm stressed. Right now I'm feeling the stress. Getting close to half time. I will say, if you're new around here, make sure to subscribe and like the video. Hit the bell notification button so you don't miss out on future videos, because we were the only West Ham channel last season to do a watch along every single game without fail. We were here doing this. Oh, that's really nice. Playing to the box from Aston Villa. He goes down in the box. He's asking for a pen. It was against Emerson. He's asking for a pen. I don't think it was. I think it was a little bit light. I would have been. We'll see again in the. We'll see again in a replay. But I think it was fine. But Emerson on Watkins there. It was a nice play between him and Jacob Ramsey. He takes on. It's a Gerd who does it. Yeah, no chance. Emerson just knocks it away. That's easy. There's nowhere near a pen there. But it is going to be a throw into Aston Villa in a really advanced position. And they've somehow managed to West Ham their way all the way back into their own, all the way back to Emi Martinez even. But yeah, we were the only West Ham channel last year who did a watch along every single game without fail. So if you're looking for a way to get involved with other West Ham fans during match day, if you're looking for a way to just follow what's going on in the game, hey, if you're looking for a place where I'll send you to the Discord to get links, make sure to subscribe and hit that bell notification button, because we are here every single game. We are here. I am here. And I massively appreciate you being here as well. So like the video, because it helps us out and get more people involved. Do you know what I mean? Aston Villa passing the ball around. This is, again, what we were doing at the beginning of the game. Just sitting off quite far, allowing them to sort of knock it about. Moreno tries to take on his man. Does. Zuma not really sure what happened there with the ball. And we win a throw in. Good work. Good work. How do you join the Discord? The Discord is in the link in the description below. If you scroll down, there's a bit there called Join Our Discord. Click on that. It should invite you to join it. It's completely free. Completely free to join. And I would highly recommend it. Because lots of lovely people in there. Lots of lovely people. Nice ball through to Ollie Watkins. Laid back again. We're starting to crowd out those central positions a little bit better. But they're on top of us right now, which is kind of why they're on top of us in a very advanced position, which means that we have the time to be in that defensive position. But it's not good. Paqueta does well to get the control there. Just hold off Douglas Luiz, and that's a really nice ball with the outside of his boot. Looking for Jarrod Bowen. He does well. He charges down. Jarrod Bowen down the right-hand side. This is a good position, but there's no one there. There's no options whatsoever. And Moreno does well. There is no one there whatsoever. Jarrod Bowen comes flying forward. 1 more minute. Stoppage time to go. Jarrod Bowen comes flying forward. Does really well. Great ball from Lucas Paqueta down the line. It's just, there is not a single person there. Again, that's why Jarrod Bowen just isn't as fast as maybe other wingers. He can't take Moreno on for pure pace there, and there's just no options for him whatsoever. And there was barely anyone up alongside him anyway. So it's not like he would have. It's not like he couldn't find the options because Moreno was doing well. There were no options. Lots of wrestling going on in the box. Danny Ings again is going across to talk to the referee with Buendia, who's all over him. Buendia's getting called over by the ref as well. They're gonna have a little conversation. Buendia is big on the old gripsing of Danny Ings. He's very short, is Buendia. Because I don't think Danny Ings is particularly tall, but Benny Buendia is a small man. They are full on just fighting in the box. Ball gets played in, headed away. Paqueta tries a little back heel into the path for Cyberman to maybe loop it in again. It's going to be another corner, this time on the left-hand side. I'm not looking at chat right now just because I know you lot will be slightly ahead of me at half-time. Potentially, maybe a goal's gone in. I don't want that spoiler. But half-time will be called just after this. Whipped in from the left-hand side. Thomas Suchek attacking it, missing it, and there is the half-time whistle. Score at half-time. West Ham United 1, Aston Villa 1. I don't know how to break that one down. I'll be honest, I'm not sure how to break that one down at all. It was a how do I describe it? I said this earlier, but I'll say it similarly, right? David Moyes will be happy with that. We might not be. There are elements I'm happy with. I think there are elements I'm very unhappy with. But David Moyes will be happy. His tactic, his idea has worked. They've scored, but outside of that, have they created a flurry of chances, huge amount of chances? No, not really. They've created one big one, which they should have scored. But outside of that, not massively. So David Moyes will probably be sitting there and going, this by and large has worked. From a fan standpoint, from us watching the game, I'm not enjoying it. It's incredibly passive, unbelievably passive. To start again, usually, you know, we have that 10-minute period where we really try and get something going and we really put some pressure on them. Oh, look at us go, we're running about, we're making things happen. In this game, it was about as opposite of that as possible. It was truly maybe the most passive I've ever seen West Ham in the opening stages of that match. And for me, that's kind of the problem. There's no real... We've set up in this game to not concede. I know people say that often, and to be honest with you, there's a lot of things people say often which I'm not super keen on. This idea of we set up not to lose, stuff like that. No one sets up not to lose. No one sets up to lose, right? I think there may be phrases I wouldn't say, but what I would say is that we are trying to make it as hard as possible for Aston Villa to score. And for the vast majority of the time, sure, maybe we have done that. But the fact that there have been several opportunities, not only have they scored, but there have been several opportunities where flipping Watkins right at the end should have scored. It's not really good enough. And for a team who need a win today, right? No, it's not. I don't think it's make or break. I don't think this game's going to decide whether or not we get relegated or not. But we need a win. And for that to be the performance at home, that's not good enough. I really think like some of the counter-attacking has been good, especially earlier in the game. There was a lot of really quick counter-attacks where it was like pat, 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 we were through. First time passing, just go, speed. Outside of that, I don't know. We've not really created the chances I think we need to. It's 1-1, thankfully, luckily. We get some time now to regroup and reassess and figure out what to do in this second half. And hopefully we use that to change something up, because right now, if you say, am I confident we're going to win this game? Am I confident we're going to be the next team to score? I can't say I am. But let's see what you think. Because, hey, that's just my opinion. AS is saying what annoys me is that we have players who shouldn't be playing this style of square holes, hexagon pegs. 100%. Danny Ings is definitely one of them. But 100%, that's very, very true. Help Me Boo says, playing well, not good enough with finishing, and as always, Kehrer needs to come off before he crosses the game. Kehrer has been very, very, very bad. I picked him out before the game. I understand that he's not a fullback, all this other sort of stuff. The fact is, he's playing right back. We have right backs on the bench. Jesus Christ, get him off the pitch, because it's just causing us problems. They are consistently finding space and joy down that side, and it's not a shock. Was never a penalty. Yes, I'll call out a dive from our own players. Yeah, it was Mancunian. I would say it was maybe light. I want to see it again, but off the top of my head, I would say it was maybe light. Yeah, but there's been a lot of in those from corners. There's been a lot of grappling and stuff, and it's I don't know, they're maybe getting away with a little bit. But yeah, I would say it's probably that. Martin says we're missing Antonio on the left wing as an outlet. I think Antonio, this is an Antonio formation. This formation suits Antonio perfectly, but we're not playing him because obviously he's injured. I think we would have started him if he wasn't. But yeah, if that does raise the question though, if we're not able to play Antonio, which we aren't today, should we not be doing something different? I don't know. The Cornet Deception says it's bugging. It's bugging that Villa only need one chance to score. We need loads. Benny should have put his laces through that, not side-footed it. Yeah, I've got mixed feelings about Ben Rama's performance so far. I think he's at least been there to do stuff, but I have certainly got mixed feelings. I will say though, that is very true. The first part, the Villa only needing one chance. We need loads. Literally their first shot of the game, their first chance of the game, they score. I don't know if it was actually the first chance, but it felt like at least their first chance. I need to go back and check the stats, because when you're doing a watch along, lots of things happen at once, right? But it is incredibly frustrating that they just went up, went bop, 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 goal, whereas we have to, we just don't create enough. Kehrer able, yeah. Cornet for Ings. Ings is a touch off. Ings touches off. Yes, I've not been enamoured by Danny Ings in that first half. I think we're not helping him at all. Don't get me wrong, but I have not been enamoured. Cornet, I think, could be very useful in this game. I would potentially bring him on for Ben Rama on the left. I don't know when. I don't know how fit he is. I would also consider Fornals, but that's a different story for a different time. Bowen has been roasting his man all game, but there's no one up there to support. Yeah, there was a great chance to Chris down the towards the end of the game where he counter-attacks down the right-hand side, the ball from Paqueta puts him in a really, really good position where he can come flying down the right wing, and there's just no options for him, none whatsoever. And in those scenarios, what more can you ask him to do, really? What more can we ask him to do? Parking the bus at home to a mid-table side, unacceptable. Moyes has to go. If it works, it works, but it is very passive, Harry. You're not wrong. It is very, very, very passive. If he doesn't sub Carradine, I don't know what they're watching, says Lewis. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I'm just looking at their goal again now. The replay's on my screen. Kerr is just so out of position. It's incredible. The ball gets whipped in. It's a good header. Again, you look at maybe Aged as well. Could maybe do better for that. Just a little. He just doesn't expect the early cross. That's what we did to teams time and time again. Just that early cross catching people out, and it does there. I'm looking at the replay again for theirs. It's a great block off for ours. Sorry, it's a great block off the line from. It's a great block off the line from Watkins, originally from the shot from Paqueta off the corner. And it's just clumsy from Leon Bailey. I think I would describe it as soft, is the way I would say it. I think it is a penalty. I think it's one of those ones where, like, I think it probably is a penalty, but it's very soft. It's very soft. Bowen, Pace and Ings causing problems should create chances to score. Watkins very dangerous, says Gary. Not wrong. James says Kerr is poo. Yes. Michael Levy Jr., voice of an angel. Rice drives me mad for seeing a run, crapping it, turning around and playing it backwards. That's why our players don't make runs. Yeah, we need to be more adventurous. We're in a scenario where we just don't take risks. We're an incredibly risk-averse side, which isn't a shock under David Moyes, right? But it's those scenarios where we could maybe do a little bit more, and that's the thing that I think some people find frustrating about Lucas Paqueta. I've had lots of conversations on the Patreon podcast, right? Two Spanners, One Hammer, where we speak about the games, we speak about what's going on, and this idea of Paqueta losing the ball comes up a lot. And I think, although I don't necessarily disagree, one thing I would suggest with him that I will always defend is at least he's trying to find these through balls. He's trying to do stuff. He's trying to make things happen, whereas there are times where everyone else just feels incredibly conservative and passive. Whereas if you get the ball and ping those through balls forward that he's doing, sometimes they're not going to pay off. Sometimes the opposition are going to get there, our player won't get there, or roll through to the goalkeeper, whatever. But I would much rather us try those balls and try to be a bit passive and try to do something creative and risky that could pay off into goals that we just are not scoring, then be as passive as we tend to be, because when we're as passive as we tend to be, we don't create enough. And that is an incredibly awkward, difficult situation to be in, because there's games like today where we just are not creating enough. And that is not a shock. We have been like this for a long, long time. There is certainly nothing new. It's certainly nothing new at all. We need practice. Yeah, basically. Kerr is so out of position, it should be illegal. He is wildly out of position at all times. It's very frustrating. Yuri says Bowen was right. Yeah, I think Bowen was okay. I think defensively, maybe there could be a little bit more from him, but going forward, no real complaints with Jarrod Bowen, if we're being honest. No complaints. Ings is sleeping, says Sajid. Bertie is saying Paqueta is a luxury player. We're in a relegation dogfight. Agree and disagree. I agree that he's a luxury player and that, maybe you don't need that in a relegation fight. What I would say is that you need those sorts of players to do something. Because if you don't have those sort of players, then you're relying and hoping on just hard work and graft getting you out of it. And frankly, hard work and graft have got us into this problem. And so you do need something to get you out of it. I don't necessarily disagree with you, to be fair. But I think there is... I don't think it's one or the other. I think what gets you out of it is a combination of everything. Never a penalty, says Roger, which is fair. Greg says, I thought it was a pen when Buendia pulled down Ings more than it was a pen we actually got. Yeah, that was a big thing. That was a bit. He was great. He was jostling with him non-stop. Literally every single corner, you just see Buendia just getting at him, which is not useful for him whatsoever. Simon with the 5,000 CLP, whatever that currency is. I'm assuming that means £1 million. Thank you very much, Simon, for the full-time fund. Keep up fantastic work, Gio, Gonzo, Gio, and Charlie. We followed you all season from Chile. Thank you very much, Simon. That's very kind of you to say, and I'll certainly be passing on those kind words to the others. Thank you. It's massively appreciated. Your name will be going up in the top corner in just a few moments' time. Kera is weak, but Johnson is no better. I disagree. I think defensively he's significantly better, but I understand the argument. I certainly understand the argument. I think if you look at the Brighton performance, by the way, then you can't say Johnson is any better. I think if you look at the couple of performances before that, I don't think Kera has ever. I think Kera at right back is awful. I think Johnson at right back is passable, and at that point, I take the passable option. Everyone blame Kera. Where's the talking? At Kera to stay in position? No one steps up. Huge lacking of talking. Yeah, it's a fair point. There definitely needs to be better communication. That's something that comes out of time. Again, you're looking at three defenders. You're looking at three defenders on that side. Actually, four. You look at that entire back line. They've all come in the last year and a half. And I'm only including Zuma in the last year and a half. Actually, if you're looking at three of the four back four have signed for us in this season. So it's not entirely shocking that maybe there's not necessarily enough cohesion between them, because it's rare that you can just lob everyone together and it just sort of works. It doesn't really happen that often. It's only really happened for us once, and that was with Diop and Balbuena when they both came in and were somehow had this amazing perfect partnership for a season that made no sense, because these are two people who don't speak the same language and never played together, and all of a sudden just got put together and worked, right? We're hoping that can build over time, and obviously these players, I mean, how many times have these four played together? Probably, I don't think they've ever started a game together, have they? 1, 2, maybe max. I'd have to go back and look at the numbers, but it certainly isn't something that's been often. So when you're talking about lack of communication, it's not entirely surprising, and that's when you need a leader in those positions who can just sort of come in and drive that. And I don't know if we have that necessarily. Am I the only one that thinks? Am I the only one that doesn't think we're playing okay, creating chances, not awful at the back? Like I said, I think David Moyes will be happy with that performance. And like I said, I have positives and negatives about it. I don't think it's good enough, but I don't necessarily completely disagree with your statement there. And like I say, I think David Moyes will be happy with that. James Gunn says, we will win. Our centre-backs are petrified of Watkins, 2 international centre-backs, says Bertie. I'm quite scared of him. He's quite good, to be fair, but you're not wrong. Aston Villa are panicking on corners, and Tyrone Mings has been time wasting since the 5th minute. To be fair, I think we've been time wasting. I think we just let him time waste to some extent. Who is worse, Zaza, Haller, or Skamaka? Well, very clearly, Zaza. Zaza is just actively Zaza wasn't the one. I backed him at the time. I wanted him to succeed, but it very clearly wasn't the one. And since then, his career has not really done anything. I think, look at the levels. I mean, Skamaka's already got 7 goals in all competitions this year. Haller was our top goal scorer when he left, I believe, potentially. Zaza. As we get forward to the end of this half-time period, remember I'm going to be here for the entire 45 minutes after this. So, hey, hang around if you want. Get involved with the conversation. Hang out. We've got lots of things to talk about. We've got 45 minutes of football to enjoy. You know how it goes. However, we will also have our full-time review straight after this, live on this very channel. So if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification button video so you don't miss bell notification button so you don't miss out on that. And because, you know, we were also the only channel last year who did a watch along for every single game last season. Build up, watch along, review. We were here every single game last season doing it. I was here doing a watch along every single game last year. Make sure, if you haven't already, to subscribe and like the video because of it. 300 is the goal for our likes. We have flown past that already at 330 likes. But the second half will be getting underway in just a few moments' time. I have a timer in the top corner to show exactly how far behind you I will be because, of course, YouTube, there's a little bit of lag there. I'm in North Idaho, which means, you know, I have to watch it in certain ways. You know, these things happen, which means that we won't be exactly in time, but there will be a time that shows you exactly how far behind you are. The two teams are coming out. I can't see any subs straight away, but we'll see in a second. Big second half for West Ham at the London Stadium. Huge. A win would be massive for us. We need to be picking up wins, and teams like this are a big opportunity to do it. Aston Villa have obviously been better since Unai Emery came in, but certainly not been unbelievable, out of this world or anything like that. A win here could go a long, long way. A couple of wins here and there, and we're safe. We're safe. There is a lot. There is a lot of. I'm looking more at that penalty. I'm not sure if it was a penalty the more I look at it, to be fair. There is, of course, a lot to come. So we'll see how it goes. A little few wins here and there. There are a lot of teams around us who are in this relegation fight as well. A win here and there will do us the world of good. We have flown up, by the way. Do you remember when I said 100 subs wasn't unheard of? By the time we said that, which was in the first half, we are now at 29,927 subscribers. So we are getting there. We are getting there. We could potentially hit 30,000 subscribers during this stream. We could hit it today, but we could hit it during this stream. Second half kicks off. West Ham underway. Come on, you Irons. Deploy the boys. Time to run two things indeed. It was no substitutes at half-time. Two teams coming out exactly the same. Jarrod Bowen dribbling through, trying to play the ball and can't quite make it work. Lofted into the box, looking for side. Benrahma at the back post. Hits it. Oh my God, straight at Emi Martinez, who manages to palm it away. But bloody hell, that was close. And then I think it's Benrahma and Bailey maybe who go down, holding their heads. But it's bloody close. Comes in. Bowen does well to pick up the ball wide on the right-hand side. Someone goes down in the build-up to it. He skips past his man, picks across. Paqueta lofts it in. Benrahma on the volley. I don't know. He doesn't pull the trigger. I don't know. Maybe Benrahma could do a little bit better with that one. Maybe do a little bit better. The volley, he just sort of opens up his foot and sort of tries to, I don't know, it flecks off, and then him and Bailey clash heads on a header after, and it's gonna be a, I suspect it'll be for Aston Villa, but yeah, still. Had to cancel last minute as both kids ill. Cheers, Charlie, for keeping me in the loop. No less stressful sitting at home listening to it. It is not at all. Johnny, thank you very much for joining, my friend. I hope both the kids feel better soon. Because how dare they stop you going to the football? I mean, realistically, they might have done you, depending on how this game goes, they might have done you a favour. But I hope they feel better soon, bro. I hope they feel better soon. Well, thank you for joining. It's very kind of you to choose this. I think it's going to be a drop ball. There's a conversation between the ref and there's a little bit of booing going on, but I believe it'll end up being a drop ball. We're at 2:9:30. I could try and... All right, let's see. Let's see if I can... This is probably going to break the entire thing. This is probably annoyingly going to break everything, but let's see if I can... Tell you what we'll do for a split second. I want to see if I can get the live sub count on the screen at the same time while we sort out the drop ball and Aston Villa are passing it around at the back. Trying to find something. Oh. Where is it? I can't flipping. What is going on here? Do you know what? You're gonna have to deal with a picture of Skamaka just for a split second. Oh, again. It's over. It's fine. You just have to deal with this picture of him for a split second. Just for a split second. Hang on. We're getting there. Oh, there you go. Look at that. I think that's live. It should be live. We'll see when someone subscribes, I guess, if it's live or not. It should be. Who knows? We'll find out when we go. Played forward. Mings hooking it away second time. Can't quite get there. Danny Ings under a little bit of pressure. Can't quite make it. It's played away. Going to be thrown to West Ham on the right-hand side. Thank you very much. Stressful. How are you, my friend? I hope you're well. How are things? Hope you're having a good day, my friend. Concerning. It is live. Look, someone unsubscribed. We've got it live. There we go. I figured it out. I know what I'm doing. I know what buttons to press. Pinged forward. Oh, Bowen almost loading up a volley there. First time under pressure from Ramsey. Does well there, to be fair, to keep that in. Then gets bounced down and it's going to be a free kick. A little bit light. A little bit light, but it is what it is. That's the other thing I need to do. I need to put people's names in the top corner. I'm behind on the admin today. Subs just went back up. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. We're on the upswing. We're on the upswing. There you go, Simon. Thank you very much for the 5,000 into the full-time fund. That's very, very kind of you. Chile. Pesos? Do they have pesos in Chile? I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking of Resident Evil 4 too much. But Bailey down the right-hand side looking to try and find their way in. Lays it short. Tyrone Mings comes forward. We're in a deep position. This is a very classic David Moyes West Ham position right now. We're sat very deep. Aston Villa just trying to find their way into the box. Douglas Luiz, that's really nicely done by Douglas Luiz. They don't quite make it work, Villa. It's going to be cleared away for a throw-in on the left-hand side. I'm sorry, bro. That sounds incredibly stressful. I'm fine. I'm fine. It sounds slightly less stressed than you are. I'm sorry. That sounds like a stressful time. Do I keep freezing for everyone else, or is it just Sumo? Hopefully it's just not hopefully it's just Sumo. Sumo, apologize. But hopefully it's not a persistent issue. Danny Ings does well there, finds Paqueta on the on-run. Danny Ings makes his way into the centre. Paqueta tries to drive it across with Ben Ram at the far side. He picks up on it. Puts it into a weird position and decides to take a shot. Not really sure why he would do that, but there you go. Freezing for me too. Freezing. Fine here. Just the screen every now and again. So I'm watching Max Headroom. I'm not getting any of the usual warning signs on here that tell me something's wrong. I'll play around with some. Let me play around with some things in the back end. See if any of those help. Hopefully they do. Don't know. I don't really know how they would, but we'll give it a shot. Aston Villa passing it around at the back. I know that was annoying. I don't mind him taking shots a lot of the time because I think he sort of might get on target, but that one was just stupid. There's people up and around you. He puts himself in an awkward position and it takes a shot from an awkward angle, and then I don't know. That was poor from Ben Rama, in my opinion. Screen freezing, but audio fine. Mine's fun. Interesting. Aston Villa more than happy to just stand there. Martin is standing with the ball and he's basically just begging West Ham to come at him again. Crowd not reacting positively to it. At all. Rice battles for it, can't quite make it work. Aston Villa come away with the ball, lay it down the left-hand side. Nicely done. He's got Ollie Watkins. Tries to find Leon Bailey, who just manages to get there ahead of again. Whipped in. Emerson gets a good header away. Down from Ben Rama to Declan Rice, back to Emerson. That's well dealt with, to be fair, but Emerson, with little options, plays himself into trouble, and the ball to Souček left him in an awkward position. He tries to play it out, and somehow we've come away with that. We should not have. Jarrod Bowen at the far side on the right-hand side. He's got Ben Rama next to him. He's got Danny Ings in the box with no space around him. Finds Lucas Paqueta, who lays it short to Danny Ings. Is not necessarily a bad idea. Slows down now, but we at least have possession in a good area. Paqueta again. That's the sort of thing I was looking for there. Tries a little quick reverse pass through the space and it just doesn't quite work out. Shame. I've pressed some buttons in the back end to see if any of that helps. Hopefully it does. I'm not sure if it will or it won't, if I'm being perfectly honest with you. Hopefully it does. I apologize. Usually I get warnings. I know I had warnings at the beginning of the stream about internet connections and stuff. But usually when you start to see like stuttering and stuff, I have a warning about it in the back end, but there's been nothing telling me anything. So I've tried to do some things to see if any of it helps. I don't know if it will or it won't. It might make things worse. I'm not sure. We'll have to see. Laid short to Aston Villa, just outside the box, looking for a long shot from John McGinn. That's fine. You can have as many of those as you want, mate. Sale's over. No stress. No stress on that one. I see. I never thought he was that fast, Charlie. Maybe that was just me, though. Maybe that was just me. But I never thought he was that quick to begin with. You know? Maybe he was, though. Maybe he was. He's certainly, I could say this, he certainly isn't now. Either way, either he lost it or he never had it. The outcome is the same. Not now. Not now. I think it's very unlikely we'll hit the 30k in this stream. I think it's unbelievable. I think it's very unlikely. It's not unheard of, but I think it's unlikely. I think we would need to really step up again. But I've got it there just in case it happens, because that'll be fun for us all. Just in case. Just in case. I mean, we've already hit the 300 likes, right? We're playing with house money, so. Moist puts 2 forwards on. It's bold. But I don't think it'll happen, I'll be honest with you. I don't think it's something. Bowen's quite quick, but not rapid. He's about 83 pace if we're going by FIFA ratings. Okay, that's okay. I would agree with that, Lewis. I don't think he's right. I don't think he's slow by any sense of the imagination. I don't think he's slow, but he certainly isn't rapid. I think that's fair. I think if you compare him to someone like Cornet, for example, who is rapid, I think that's fair. If the people call for it, mate. If the people call for it. Oh, Ben Rama, that's nice. Good control. That's a good opportunity to shoot over. That's the sort of boy. That's the sort of positions. That's the sort of positions. Ben Rama just picks up the ball in a good position. He's a bit more space, bit more central. That's a good space to shoot. Hoofed forward from Kurt Zuma to Ben Rama. That's a beautiful first touch. Takes the second one. He's under a lot of pressure, and the shot is, at the end of the day, over and straight down the middle. But it's going to be a corner. And then I will call the bell pole, because there has been enough in the second. Whipped in. Punched away by Martinez. Not confidently. Paqueta gets the control. Can't quite get the shot. He stubs his toe in the build-up, so it looks a bit painful. Looks painful. Deploy the bell. We have seen enough calls for bells. We'll lob the pole in chat. Whipped in from Ben Rama. Can't quite make it happen. No, that's Q&A. Didn't need that. Poll, that's what I need. Thank you very much. I was just did a Q&A. Don't even find people in it. There we go. There should be a poll in chat for bells. We'll leave it until 58 minutes. You have until 58 minutes. It's going to be a throw-in. John McGinn looks like such a little battler. The longer he goes, the more battly he seems. Throwing goes poor. We're going to have a second one. 30 seconds on the bell pole gone. So far, if you think now's not the time for bells, you're going to have to get in there, because I'll tell you what, it's very heavily leaning yes. It's very heavily leaning yes. Ninth corner for West Ham. Left-hand side. Jared Bowen to take. I think it's Jared Bowen. Whipped in. It's Emerson who takes it, sorry. Deflects off the first man. Ben Rama. Tries to cut back to Emerson. Does well. The ball in's not bad, but it does hit the first man again. Good work from Jared Bowen. Nicely done. I'll be ending the poll after this second. Whipped in, looking for Danny Ings, can't quite get there, and it goes out for a goal kick. The bell poll has finished, ladies and gentlemen. 83% said yes, 17% said no. So I will be stepping out for just a split second. You'll have Danny to keep you company. I'll be stepping out for a second just to go grab that bell. Probably a good chance to do it actually while they're having a goal kick. Hang on a sec. Bell acquired. Oh, smashed the door there. That's probably a negative. Bell acquired. Have I missed anything? Doesn't look like it. There we go. Oh. Hello. We have Bell, ladies and gentlemen. Bell is here. Seeing a lot of people talking about Rice. What happened with Rice? I think I missed it. Well, I might not have missed it, to be fair. You're only saying it now, so it could have happened in a second, but... Benrahma hits it. Can't quite get anything. It deflects. That's a corner. That's a corner. He's begging it. He thinks it should have been a handball, but... Big diagonal quickly looking for Benrahma. He gets there, tries to hit it first time across. I don't think it was a handball. It hits it. I mean, it hits Cash on the arm, but it's nowhere near. It's nowhere near close enough to really. It's nothing, you know. Where do I find bells in North Idaho? I bring them across with me. I bring them across with me, you know. I bring them across with me. Here's my bell. Unwrapped. The silent snack is ready. We're just gonna. What we're gonna do? Right at the corner. So just for the vibes. Just in case it helps. Straight in. No messing. Rice hits first man. Going to be another corner. Played in a second time to the back post. Just sort of let it lie, and Emerson can't quite get there at full stretch. It happens. Bell consumed. Deployo el boyos. You know what I mean? That's Spanish for let's go. How are you? I hope you're well. I don't know, man. I don't know. Itchy. I think they just said Luke Digne is coming on. So if Alex Moreno's injured, let's just go for him now. You know what I mean? Let's make it happen. Play quickly down that left-hand side. Awful pass. Apparently Bertrand Traore is also coming on for Villa. Yeah, and I did say David Moyes would be happy with what he's seen so far, and the lack of substitutes maybe back that point up. Probably not. You know what I mean. It backs it up, but at the same time, don't know if that's true. He just never does subs, does he? He just never does subs, does he? Paqueta lays it short to Emerson, passing it around. It's been a very nothingy second half so far, hasn't it, if we're being honest about it? It's been a very nothingy second half. Oh, I've just remembered I've got a Rustlers in the fridge. Oh, someone's having a Rustlers after this. Let's go. Paqueta. Do you think when Paqueta and Skamaka and Kera and Aged and all these fun players who have ability on the ball, Kera might not be able to defend, but I'll tell you what, he's not bad on the ball, passing wise. I mean, crossing is a mess. But when all those things happened, when they all joined in the summer, do you reckon they were joining a more exciting team, or do they think this was what they were coming to? Because my God, Cornet must come on soon, surely. That's my hope, Darren. That's my hope. I hope he does. I don't know when or how, but I hope that's what happens. We always need big men, Sean. We always need big men, and I strongly agree. Big man needed. The burger. I've never actually I'll be honest with you. I've never had a Rustlers before. I'm putting that into the world. I've never had a Rustlers before. And I was in the shop yesterday, and I saw the Rustlers, and I said to myself, I'm going to have a Rustlers. So I bought the Rustlers, and I put the Rustlers in the fridge, and at this stage, I'm going to try my first Rustlers. Could be huge. Could be huge. Could be crap. Who knows? We'll find out. Pot noodles, though. Big into a pot noodle. Big into a pot noodle. Again, does well. Finds Paqueta, who is shouting at the players ahead of him to do something, who is just standing in non-possessions, tries to then loft it over the top, can't quite make it happen, even. He was just screaming at him. In a good way or a bad way, M. Collingwood? I'm scared now. I'm anticipating the response in a good way or a bad way. They're pretty grim. Okay. Don't microwave the bun. Bang it in the toaster. Okay. That sounds like a solid shout. Big ball out wide to side. Ben Rama. He's in a good position. He takes it round Cash well. Cross wasn't bad, but it was too close to Emi Martinez, who's screaming in pain right now. I think Thomas Souček maybe collided with him a little bit. They're vile. Don't do it to yourself. I was sick 30 times after eating it. Blood. There's some strong negative vibes on the rest of the Curry flavour. Curry flavour's the best. Curry flavour's the best. I'll say that much. Yeah, Souček just goes in. He gets pulled away from Mings. I don't think it was anything. I don't think it was purposeful. But yeah. Doesn't sound like a bad thing. I mean, look, listen, it depends on your vibe, I guess. But, you know, who knows? Could be good, could be bad. Who knows? Cornet, please. Yeah, bring on subs. Moyes must go. I mean, at this stage, change something, right? Change something. Throw it in the bin and get yourself a 5, guys. Do you think I made a money mark? I know we've received a couple of full-time donos today, but listen, even all that put together probably doesn't get a 5, guys, and even that's not just for me. You know, that's a Hamish chat thing, not just a Charlie Walsh thing. I think I made a money. Just gonna get a 5, guy. What's more likely is I put it in the bin and I go around to the chicken and chip shop around the corner and I ask him for a strip burger or something. You know what I mean? That's more likely. I'm very hungry. Very hungry. What's happening is I'm just, you know, more balls than David Moyes. I just want a burger. I do also have frozen chicken burgers in the fridge, to be fair. But that would have to go in like white sliced bread. I don't know. Villa passing it around at the back currently. There's really nothing going on, if we're being perfectly honest. They could try and cross it in, can't quite make it work. Declan Rice battles with it. Nope. Passing it around at the moment, Villa on the left-hand side, trying to find a way in. That's a nice pass into John McGinn, but Zuma does well defensively to stop that. It's going to be a corner. Oh. It's going to be a goal kick, apparently. I thought it was a corner. It's going to be a goal kick. Good defensive. I don't know if it did come back off him, to be honest with you. Apparently it did. I'm more a pickled veg and beef flavour. Curry for me. Curry all the way. Home cooked bacon, cheese, but fresh potato chips. First of all, 5 guys, right? Expensive. Now you're telling me to cook. What do you take me for? Someone who's capable at life. I've got a cardboard cutout of Danny DeVito. Think about it, chefing it up. Do you know what I mean? That ain't me, bruv. Bowen, oh, good opportunity. Lays it short, laid off. Ben Rama hits it straight at the ref. Not the ref, sorry, hits it straight at the thing. I can't cook burgers. I've never been capable of doing it. I don't know why. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I can't get them cooked properly, and I just can't. I've never been able to do it. Is this oven? This oven's trash. I hate this oven with a passion. We're getting into Charlie talk now, but I can't be asked with this oven, bruv. Yes, now we're talking, Jamie. Chicken chips from Boss Man. 4 wings chips, please. 4 wings chips can. Gimme that Rubicon, bruv. That's all I need. That's all I need. Jamie speaking my language. Jamie knows. Jamie knows. Round the corner, 4 wings chips, talking like £1.20, £1.50 max. Mate, yes. That's living. That's living. Now, will you live after it? Who knows? That's part of the risk you got to take, but that's living. You know? A retired Charlie Adam would do no worse than Paqueta, says Ballon Dawson. Harsh. Harsh. Wild North Idaho TV network first. Oh, we got it back. We got it back. Okay, we're back. Slightly ahead of where we were. Traore tries to hit it, deflects off the defender, and goes away. Just get yourself a fillet steak, some eggs, and potatoes on the skillet, and have a big boy dinner. Listen, if you didn't convince me with the food, you convinced me with big boy dinner. Having said that, I'm going to expose myself here, not in a bad way. I'm just going to expose my lack of knowledge. What is a skillet? You know what I mean? What's a skillet? Again, I am painfully aware I'm sat here with a Greg's t-shirt on, saying these words, which puts me in a very negative light. What is a skillet? I don't know. Oh, it's a good run for West Ham, actually. Ben Rama's on the ball. It's just a ball for it. I don't think Ben Rama's been that good today, I'm not going to lie. £1.50, where do you live? The more important question, Tom, should be, where am I buying it from? And the answer are dodgy men. It's dodgy establishments. I'll tell you this story. I think I've told it on stream before. It might be, someone goes down in the area. Potential pen for Aston Villa. Rice is fighting against it. They haven't called it, but Emi Buendia is down holding his foot. I think it'll be fine. I think it will be okay. Jacob Ramsey plays it in. No, it doesn't look like a pen to me. I think Brandy is trying to grab that one a little bit unnecessarily. There's a huge amount of beef going on the pitch now. Jacob Ramsey and Declan Rice are screaming at each other. And now there's some more. Now McGinn is trying to drag West Ham players off Buendia, who frankly is insane that he's still down on the pitch, if we're being honest. Like, insane. And there are just all manner of people around this. You have Ings and Buendia. Ings is standing over, just shouting at various West Ham players. Buendia is dragging West Ham players away from the situation. Emi Buendia is still down. I'm sort of shocked by the fact he's still down. I'm trying to look at it. Yeah, I can see no pen in chat, so it's definitely not been given, which I don't think it was. I don't think it was even a foul, if we're being honest. I don't want to say he's bought it, but he's gone down very emphatically for what is not a lot. Declan Rice needs, I'm going to say this politely, he needs to calm down. He's screaming at everyone and having a massive bloody argument with absolutely everyone. He needs to calm down, because he's in danger of just talking himself into trouble at this point. But he's pulled aside both captains, himself and John McGinn, just to have a conversation about it. They're still having a conversation after the ref's gone away. That's because Declan Rice goes across to Buendia. We didn't see it. It was during the replay. Declan Rice went across to Buendia, who's on the floor, and shouted at him while he was down. Zuma is pushing Declan Rice away from Buendia here. Calm down, you Dumbo. Please, I beg. I don't mean that harshly in a Dumbo way, but everyone is screaming at you to stop. The referee has told you to stop. Your own players are having to push you away. That is not captaincy. I don't mean to be harsh about it, but that is not captaincy. I agree with Rice. I think Buendia was completely buying that. I think he was selling a myth there. I don't think he was injured. I don't think he was hurt in that transaction. I think he just went down for the sake of going down to try and get a penalty and then stayed down for a long period of time. But you can't be doing that as captain. If you're if you're the captain and one of your players is having to come across and push you away from a situation because you won't stop, that's a bad situation. Anyway, Ashley Young is going to come on for Aston Villa alongside, I think it's Pablo Fornals coming on for West Ham, which to some extent I do agree with. I think potentially I would rather say Cornet come on, but I think the one thing I will say about Pablo Fornals is he's very direct and he's very fast with his passing. He picks the ball, he goes, he pings it quickly. There's no wasted time with him, right? When he gets the ball, he wants to play it first time. He wants to play it fast. He wants to play it forward. Buendia's on running about. Strange that. I think that's correct, but I think you want to add other things to it. He's not gonna change everything. You want to add some other things to it. Danny Ings does well there and goes down under pressure from Buendia, who is not exactly endearing himself to the London Stadium. You want to do something else with it. Maybe you bring on Cornet at the same time. Say you take off. I don't know who, but you bring Pablo Fornals on. You bring on Cornet at the same time. Potentially have them sort of darting into position where Pabas can play the ball. I'm not sure. Paqueta's coming off. Paquetá is coming off for West Ham for Fornals. He goes in the middle, which is potentially the correct call. I don't know. Paqueta's gone down the tunnel, apparently. Paquetá's gone down the tunnel, so that's not a vibe. We'll see what happens. Jarrod Bowen firing the crowd up. You'll have to see it. Let's try and get this timer back into the right time now because it's all over the shop. We'll go 33. I've told this story before, right? This was about Bossman. Okay. I've told this story before. I think I told it on stream. I might have told it on Two Spanners. I can't remember, but I've definitely said it somewhere. So I apologize if you heard this before. You're telling me where I'm getting it from, where it's £1.50, okay? They also sell a 15-inch pizza, any 4 toppings you want, with a box of wedges and a 2-litre bottle of drink for £7. Now, you should be asking yourself what kind of nonsense is going on here. And does it taste of soap? Yeah, a little bit, but it's very cheap. Or ball over top of Fornals, who gets there, can't quite find Ben Rama. It's close. So this, you're starting to build up a picture of what kind of place this is, right? I went in there once with a mate of mine who lives in Hertfordshire. He's not a hardened Londoner such as myself. He's from Hertfordshire, and I went in there once with him. And as I'm at the counter telling Bossman what I want on my pizza, he comes up behind me. I know him, Collingwood. I know. He comes up behind me, right, and he goes, Charlie. I'm like, brother, I'm trying to decide which chicken I want to die from. Do you know what I mean? I'm trying to figure this out. He goes, Charlie, I can't see the Food Standards Rating Agency on display. Paqueta's now back on the bench. He doesn't look very happy, does he? But yeah, there you go. That's the kind of place. You take life into your own hands. It's the only. It continues to be the only food establishment I've got food poisoning from, and you best believe I was back there the week after because it's so cheap. It's so cheap. Proper Bossman shop. Terrifying maneuver. Not pizza go-go. I know, that's the concerning part right there. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. That's decent. Maybe. He didn't look too happy, but let's not dig too far into it. Pizza go-go literally makes you go. Look, pizza go-go is, it is one of those things. I'll have it. It's not my first choice, but it does open very late. There's one relatively near me that's open very, very, very late. And I've ordered from there in the middle of the night before, so... Souček battling in the middle of the park with John McGinn with that. Can't quite make it happen. Good interception from Emerson. I'll tell you what, Emerson's not been bad today. Listen, come down south. Come to London where, for some reason, it's an absolute party. I'll say this to you, Stu, honestly. You don't want that deal. It's dangerous. It's a dangerous prospect. But, and he wasn't wrong. They don't. He doesn't wrong. They don't. They changed management pretty soon after that. pretty soon after that. Dodgy place. Duran coming on for Emi Buendia, who's probably the right thing. Ashley Young also coming on for Matty Cash for Aston Villa. Probably the right call to take off Buendia. He was cruising for some sort of problem. Noodles aren't bad though, to be fair. I had noodles last night. We had Korean last night. It was great. It's great. At the same time, you know. Digne whips the ball in, headed away. This has got 1-1 written all over it, this match. 10 minutes to go. This just screams 1-1. Screams it. Chare does well to skip on the inside of Emerson. Puts the ball into a dangerous area. Hoofed away from Kurt Zouma. Big hoof. Big boy. Woof. I don't think we're going to hit 30k during this stream now. I don't think it's going to happen. All we need is another 62 subs in the next 10 minutes. I think I'm willing to admit defeat on that one now. It was close. We got a couple, but 62 in 10 minutes feels a lot. Oh, someone goes down onto a high boot. I'm not sure who that was. It's a high boot from Luca Digne. Bowen who went down. I don't know what happened in the rugby, but I apologise. I need to on the two spanners on the Patreon. The next formation is rugby based, let's say, and it's a thing. It's a thing. What's this pen and paper out? I wonder what he's doing. Which defender? He's just drawing pictures of walls. Just drawing pictures of walls. Here's a wall. Look at that. Here's a bus. Wall. I don't know where that was going either, but it was there. That's a bar. We've made more subs than Moyes has. Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Oh, I missed him. I saw him appear in the corner of my eye, but I didn't look because it was stress. I missed whatever weird thing he's wearing today. Bowen does well, pulls it back. Oh, it's just behind Pablo Fornals. It comes to him quickly and slightly in an awkward position. He just can't do anything with it. It's great big ball. Agaird's so good, man. Those long diagonals to Jared Bowen from Agaird today have been really good. Finds Bowen, pulls it back. It's just a bit awkward. Close. Remember me telling you about taking work on his... Yes, I do remember this. I do remember this. Bro, listen, I respect their confidence levels, let's say. Which is a disgrace, by the way, Stuart. If you haven't already subscribed to the Disabled team, what are you doing? An absolute disgrace that it takes that long when you're putting out bags. Oh, Ben Rama! Oh, how is that not in? How is that not in? It's a corner, I think, but how is that not in? Which is a disgrace. Subscribe to the Disabled team. Oh, how is that not in? It comes to Ben Rama, he hits it. Oh, my thing's gone wild. It came to him quickly. He snaps a volley and it doesn't quite work out. Oh my god, I'm trapped in the time vortex of North Idaho, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just gonna... North Idaho TV network has let me down. Benny, snap volley. Doesn't quite work out. Okay, right, we're going to have to start going again. We go again. We flick through the channels to see what happens. Come on, Idaho. Oh! It's come back to a very exciting shot. I've seen Maxwell Cornet. Less excitingly, I've seen Callum Chambers. But I think Maxwell Cornet is about to come on. Oh, did you? Thank you. I didn't see that. Sorry, I don't have Twitter open. Thank you, sir. Thank you. I mean, I don't need it. I'm watching on American television. I'm watching on the USA Network. I'm seeing Cornet. It's Danny Ings who's coming off for Maxwell Cornet. Interesting. Not really sure what position or what's going on there. Is Cornet going to play up front then? I think he is. He seems to be in the central role. Cornet seems to be in the central role. Thank you, Ray, by the way. That's very kind of you. Hooked forward. We'll see how that ends up working out. Danny Ings off. And on Maxwell Cornet in a central position. We'll see how this ends up playing out. I would prefer... I'm not going to lie. I would prefer Maxwell Cornet in a deeper position where he can actually affect the play more than just the outlet up front. But I guess he is more movement-wise like Mikel Antonio than Danny Ings is. We've got 4 minutes plus stoppage time to go. The crowd are firing up. This game is somehow all to play for. It's been a pretty poor second half, if we're being honest about it. It's not been very exciting from either side. At least there was stuff going on in the first half. See how this ends up playing out. Sign him forever, like Alan Pardew that one time at Newcastle, where he got an 8-year contract. So it's big Mike Ashley movements. See, it's in these situations here where we've got all the way back to boos. Big boos from the home side as we pass all the way back. It's in these scenarios where we were passing it around over the top. Oh, that's nice. Oh, Cornet can't quite get the control. Emerson can't quite get it. He was offside anyway. It's in those positions, right, before we ended up passing it all the way back. Follow me on Twitter. I'll tell you if I tell it. I'll tell you if I have it or if I chicken out. Now everyone's told me I'm going to die if I eat it. In that scenario, towards that, before we ended up passing it all the way back to our goalkeeper, we were in a very sort of advanced position and trying to put it on them a little bit. That's the situations where you want Cornet a little bit deeper because, you know, he's not really going to be effective there, right? You want him a little bit deeper where he can link up some play, he can make some movements, he can dash past someone. Because at that final ball, it's like they're going to be sitting there and they're not going to let the space in behind for him to really get anything in there. Once it got passed backwards, it's a different scenario again, but very awkward from Declan Rice. Header does not come off well. The big long ball over the top, and he's the one who headers it. It's straight at the feet. Try a couple of step overs, takes it past. Well, I say takes it past him. He sort of just wanders about in a circle for a bit. Lays it short to Ashley Young, who whips it into not a bad position. It was a bit over the top. Probably should have been I don't know. Maybe it should have been a free kick. Who knows? But Douglas Luiz. I have no problems with the co-commentator. If you're watching on the USA Network, for example, I have no problems with the co-commentator. But he did just describe the cross. It's going to be a corner to Aston Villa. He did just describe the cross that Ashley Young put in as an experienced type of cross. Fair enough, mate. If that's the vibe, that's the vibe. Southampton, Manchester United, by the way. Manchester United have been down to 10 men for most of the game. Still 0-0. Still 0-0. We take that. That cross had 11 years experience. Whipped in. Oh, bloody hell. Declan Rice is such a waste, man. He's not a waste, man. That was a waste, comma, man. Thank you very much for GP for the £2 into full-time fund, my friend. That's very kind of you. You didn't have to do that. Charlie Best, you and Gonzo Small downstairs. Thank you. That's very kind of you to say. And to donate. You did not need to do that whatsoever. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I won't send that one on to the other two. the others, you know, nice comments about everyone. Yeah. They can get involved with that. That one, I don't think I'll send on to the others. 6 additional minutes. 6? How are you getting that number from? I mean, I'll take it, but we're not going to do anything with it. So I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't. But 6 seems emphatic to me. Seems emphatic. Basically full-time. I'm turning it off, says Fabianski. Fair. Nice hook round the back from then McGinn, and then looking for Traore. Tries to cut his way inside. Can't quite make it. And now Ben Rama looking for a big lofted ball. This is pointless. This is actually pointless. It's just booting it. Just a big boot. He is a 30 waste, man. Listen. I wasn't dissing him that much. I think he's been crap today. And I think the fact some of the way he's been reacting has just been insane. But I won't go that far. Again, collecting it off the long ball. Duran pressurising him. He does well not to give away any sort of free kick or corner there. Or sort of throw in or corner. Emerson does well to dink it away, and here comes Ben Rama. Oh, that's a huge ball through to Cornet. This is a great opportunity. Maxwell Cornet is there, 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper. Cornet! And who thought that Paqueta was the only one who could miss one-on-ones, huh? Yeah, he's a mile off. He would have been offside anyway, but he runs through. That's the opportunity. That's the reason why you put him in those positions. He's a step over at some point to try and does something, but it just takes the time. And can we get 55 subs in the next 4 minutes? Oh, never. I'm fine. I don't mind him being offside. It's the same thing I was saying as Paqueta losing the ball, right? I don't mind him being offside. He's trying to make runs. It's fine. He was offside loads before it as well. It's fine. It is what it is, right? Respect the point and all that. I don't know. Big ball over the top. Cornet battling with Tyrone Mings, who unsurprisingly outmuscles him. Three minutes to make something happen. Aston Villa with some beautiful time wasting there. Taking the ball forward, so when we go to take a throw, the referee has to tell us to go backwards. You love to see it. It's very good. Emerson on the ball. Remember to stick around until full time, because there will be a live review of Gonzo straight after this. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification button, because we do have plenty of videos coming up. Just because there's going to be a break in West Ham matches doesn't mean there's going to be a break in West Ham videos. We've got plenty of stuff to come, plenty of ideas to come. And hey, on top of that, we were the only West Ham channel last year to do a watch along every single game without fail. That's a great ball through. Looking for Ben Rama, dinks it across. Martinez does well to punch that one away under pressure. He was tempted then, and incredibly, I think that's Declan Rice who just went flying. Was it Emerson? Declan Rice? I don't know who it was. Someone just went fly kicking in. That was terrifying. We were the only West Ham channel who did a watch along every single game last season. Build up, watch along, review. We do them all here. So if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification button. And hey, hit the like button, because it helps us out massively. First thing to do, Should we say it? Let's do man of the match, shall we? I don't know if there's anything. I don't know who we would pick, but let's do man of the match. Let's do man of the match. Was that? I was gonna say, was that the full-time whistle a minute and a half before thinking? Apparently, it was just someone else. There was huge amounts of boos, by the way, which I suspect is going to be the vibe. Technically, there was a watch-along on those days, Scott. Something happened on those days. There were watch-alongs. And I've missed one this season. One of them was half of a watch-along. But shh, don't tell the boys. Don't tell the boys. Yeah. Let's screw it. Let's go with man of the match. I can see a lot of nobodies, but just lob them in. Whoever gets the most amount of calls as I scroll through in a second will win the Hammers Chat Man of the Match award. I don't know if anyone really deserves it. I don't really think it's the vibe today, but we'll ask. It wasn't an awful loss, so we'll ask anyway. And remember, stick around because Gonzo will be live in just a moment. We have about 30 seconds left of the game. Ben Rama, Bowen, says Megan, good to see you, by the way. Man of the match, Shalice Ferran. Respect it, why not? Benny for me, Ben Rama. Yeah, listen, it is what it is. It is what it is. There is the proper full-time whistle. Huge boos at full-time. Huge boos at full-time. Let's have a quick look through. The mascot, Corne, Skamaka, Ben Rama, Benny, Bowen, no worries, HDU, Bowen, Ben Rama, Benny, I guess, the pitch, Bowen. It's close between Bowen and Ben Rama. Benny, Skamaka, Scott Parker, Benny, Paracetamol, Watkins, the goal scorer. That was Ben Rama. I think it'll be Benny. There's enough Benny shouts. Bowen and Benny were okay, I guess. Yes, Megan. Yeah, but there's enough Benny shouts to where it'll be Benny. Congratulations, Syed Ben Rama winning Hammers Chat Man of the Match awards on a drab day, a day in which a point was earned, but potentially not enough. A crap game, if we're being perfectly honest about it. One in which there were a lot of boos at full time, not surprisingly. Also subscribe. I was on Steve's channel this week. Go back and watch it. Subscribe if you haven't already. Good wrestling videos. Yeah, I don't know. The boos were probably right. Stick around. There will be a live review in just a couple of moments' time with Gonzo. However, if you're new, make sure to subscribe, like the video, all that good stuff. We will be back for many videos. So make sure, watch more. Why not? See what happens. We'll keep you updated. You know what I mean? Until then, come on, you irons, enjoy yourselves, and speak to you later. Bye, everyone. Bye. Oh, actually, before I say bye, thank you very much to Ryan, N. Thornton, Ryan again, Mr. Iron, Simon, and GP for the full-time fund donations. It's very kind of you. You didn't have to do that. Until next time, we'll see you later. Bye, everyone. Bye.